Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. Joe Murray with you tonight until 11 o'clock. Skaz is here. It's just us two on a Friday night. Our interns are gone. Goodbye. Ooh, we do have Wheel of Fortune on the board. I know I've done that before, Skaz, where I try to guess the puzzle, but nobody can see it. So I don't want to be distracted by that, but I can't help but look up at that TV screen. But we're going to wait on that. I got a spark last night. I got spacked by Drake May's performance last night. And we'll certainly touch on that. At 617-779-0985, you can call in. We're here all night, hanging out. Who knows who will call tonight? Anyone. You never know. But we're going to react to the Patriots game last night. Their loss, 14-13, as Mayo comes out to the media and says, first loss stings. I thought he didn't care about preseason games, but maybe something has changed since the first preseason game. But let me just set the scene for you, everybody. And, of course, you can watch on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/thesportshub. I'm going to get in there right now to say what's up to our fam. We had a bunch of people watching the other night, so appreciate you all supporting the show. You just go right on your phone, just download the YouTube app, or you can go on your television and I use the Xfinity remote and use the button. I'll do it right now. Here we go. Ready? This is how we do it. 98.5 The Sports Hub YouTube, and then it finds it right on the TV. So that's the way I do it. So you can join us there or on the phones. But I got sparked last night. And to set the scene, the Patriots had one of the worst practices we ever heard of before against the Eagles. Granted, the Eagles, a team removed 1 year from going to the Super Bowl. And it looked bad. All you heard about was the offensive line and how many times the quarterbacks got sacked. 20% of their dropbacks, they were sacked. It was doom and gloom. The next day, they trade the face of their franchise. I know, funny to say, right? But Matthew Judon was their best player, and they traded him for a third-round pick to Atlanta. And it seemed like they were punting on 2024 and looking ahead to 2025. It was doom and gloom heading into last night's preseason game. And by the way, it poured. The weather, it didn't look like there was even really going to be much of a game or anyone to play at all. But again, doom and gloom, right? Things started to clear up again. Morale's been low. I think it's been low at this station regarding the team because I think we want them to be competitive so we can talk about it. There's so many things. There's so much meat on the bone when it comes to the Patriots, whether it's the quarterbacks, whether it's the coach, whether it's the owner, the offensive coordinator, the players on the field, the draft picks, etc., the guys they didn't trade for, the guys that they haven't signed in free agency, the $50 million that they still have. All those things. The rest of the league, what other teams are doing. There's just a lot of meat on the bone when it comes to the Patriots, but morale's low. I feel like the fan base, it's low. Last night we did postgame. We got 5 calls. 5 calls. And I don't know if it's because people think they've already punted or the fact that the Patriots have backed out of trade stuff or whatever. Or you just think they're going to suck this year. Morale was low. Drake May gave everyone hope last night. Drake May gave me hope. I saw him. He was better than Jacoby Brissett last night. Is that a big improvement? I don't know. I think we all know that Jacoby Brissett was supposed to be the starter, or has been named the starter at least, by Gerard Mayo, and now Mayo saying something different, which we'll get to. But I was sparked last night. Morale was low. I have them as the worst team in the NFL this year, and I've been consistent on that. That take is from 3 months old now, so I'm not just telling you that today. Drake May gave people hope. Hope for this year? I don't know. But hope for 2025 and beyond? Absolutely. Everyone keeps saying Drake May isn't ready. And I'll keep telling you it's the Patriots who aren't ready. It looks it, right? The offensive line's terrible. Their receivers, they really don't have a number one option. And if you do want to look at it, the deep ball to Javon Baker, yeah, he's there, but he can't make the catch. Imagine having a premier talent who could. But it's Drake May that gave people hope. Drake May might be the right guy. I don't know if building the team, having the quarterback first, and then building around it's the right way. I don't know. We're going to find out. But we didn't get to see that in preseason game number 1. Why? And all of a sudden, preseason game number 2, he gets four series and looked good and had a touchdown and scored on the field with 5 other rookies on the field. Did something change with the coaching staff seeing Drake May? I mean, the joint practices were so important to them, right? He didn't really care about the preseason games. What changed from the Panthers week to the Eagles week? And the other thing is, Jacoby Brissett, I think we all know what he is. But wasn't he advertised as a guy who doesn't turn the ball over? And then makes a terrible interception. I wonder if the Patriots are starting to sour on Jacoby Brissett. Could they be feeling the pressure about Drake May playing more? But I'll tell you this. I was sparked by the performance of Drake May. And I think he's given us hope. I think he's giving the Patriots fans hope. Here, I want to talk about, if the team sucks, all I'm going to talk about is next year. That's all we're going to talk about. Or when can we see Drake May? I understand the Patriots are trying to protect Drake May. They don't trust their line. But they have their quarterback, or do they? I don't know. But I'll tell you, I want to find out. I know what Brissett is, I know what Zappy is, and I know what Milton is. I got a little bit of hope. Got a little bit of hope from Drake May's performance last night, and I was sparked. It has sparked my interest in the New England Patriots. So we'll start there at 617-779-0985. That's the number if you want to jump aboard. We are going to take a look at last night's games, the ups, the downs, who was good, who was bad. I get a lot of questions when it comes to the coaching staff and Gerard Mayo and some of his comments last night as well. The Red Sox starting a new series, starting again today. A familiar face back in the lineup, and we say goodbye to a night show favorite. We'll have all that for you throughout the night as we're here until 11 o'clock. Skaz is here as well. We'll get his thoughts on what the Patriots did last night. I was just talking to the baseball boys before they left, and there they are. I see them back there. Kevin Majori, Matt Stenberg's here as well. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Morning, Drought. Hope all is well with you. In that same answer, you kind of raised a hypothetical in regard to the starting quarterback position, and there was some ifs involved in regard to Drake potentially beating Jacoby out. Do you see this as being a competition between the two of them right now as to who's going to be the starting quarterback against Cincinnati?
I do. We have 3 more days of training camp practices, and it's our job as coaches to evaluate, and the competition isn't over. They're still going to go out there, and they have to show not only their themselves and the coaches, but also their teammates. So it's definitely still a competition.
All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Friday night. Skaz is here. It's just me and Skaz. I haven't even made a tweet yet that we're on. Who's out there? Are there people out there? Reading in our chat already. Einbein's in there. Joe is too riled up about the Patriots, LOL. And I wrote, I'm trying to get you riled up. I guess nobody else was sparked last night by Drake May's performance. I was. How could you not be? He could step up in the pocket, read defenses, had one of the better arms we've seen in a long time. It wasn't Zappe, it wasn't Jones, it wasn't even Garoppolo for that matter. At least Garoppolo looked the part, right? Drake May played and did well out of the shotgun. Looked like he did at North Carolina. And just to set this up, you'll always hear that Drake May's not ready. Drake May's not ready. He's not ready. Drake May's not ready. His footwork, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Dude can play. He was projected to be the number 1 overall pick for the last 2 years. He played on a team in North Carolina last year that had all sorts of issues. Offensive line, playmakers. Does that sound familiar to you, everyone? I just don't want to hear Drake May is not ready. I can't do it anymore. That doesn't mean he has to play. I just don't want to hear it. It's like they're deflecting their own problems that they have on a rookie quarterback. Oh, well, he's not going to play. He has a lot of work to do. No. You guys have had a lot of work to do for years. And if it's a new regime, you've had multiple opportunities to do something and you haven't. You still have $50 million of cap space. What are you doing with it? And I just saw Skaz send over that Elliott Wolf will speak to the media tomorrow before practice. So I'm sure people will pepper him with some questions, maybe regarding the offensive line or Drake May or what the plan is.
Sunday morning.
Sunday. Okay, because they're off tomorrow. My bad. Sunday morning. That's good. I'll be on at 10 a.m. here. Maybe I'll play it live, Skaz. Were you sparked last night by Drake May's performance, Skaz?
Yeah, Joe. I mean, why not, right? This is why you draft a kid at 3. This is what we were all hoping to see, what we were hoping they were going to let us see by playing Drake May. This is, when you read the good about Drake May, it's the mobility, it's the stepping up in the pocket, it's the arm strength. So did it come as a shock? No, but it's definitely good to see. This is the progress as a Patriots fan you were definitely hoping for. Obviously, it's preseason. The Eagles ones weren't really out there. So, I'm not going to go overboard, but how can you not view last night as a positive for Drake May and for the Patriots? I think it's absolutely a positive.
So should we start the let Drake rake?
I think we can do better than that.
Let Drake rake? I mean, last year it was let Zappe sling. Riz made that up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that might have just been a you and Riz thing.
It was funny because we talked to Bedard on postgame last night, and Zappe was in there, and they're down 1 point, and he's leading the team. They're moving, and then that center couldn't snap the ball. He snapped it off his thigh. Zappe would have won that game. You know what would have happened, though? Chad Ryland would have had to come out for a kick because Joey Sly went 2 for 2 on the day, so they would have wanted to see what they could get out of Ryland. I wanted that situation last night's guys. I wanted it. But overall, I think you should be excited with Drake May. Let May play is another one I see here. Let Drake bake. Let May stay. Yes! I'll take these all night long. At 617-779-0985. But you heard Mayo there. Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo still sees a competition between Jacoby Brissett and Drake May. He said this earlier in the year. If Drake lights it up in the preseason, he'll start. This is now Gerard Mayo saying there's a competition. But I thought it was Brissett all the time. I thought it was always Brissett. I was set an expectation. If I was a customer, I was set an expectation of Brissett. Is something changing? Are they upset? This is where I'm going with it. Him saying that's a Jacoby Brissett problem. They might not be happy with Brissett. And I'm curious if Gerard Mayo is sending him a message. I think they're still going with Brissett week 1. I think it's all talk. I think Mayo is trying to send a message to Brissett because last night that was unacceptable. Right? Skaz, actually I thought the kid Maddox made a nice play, but he hucked it in there to a guy who wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jacoby Brissett's been great, but I still think it's going to be Brissett week 1, and I still think it should be Brissett week 1.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I've always been fine if Drake May sits. I've always been fine. All I'm saying, though, is give us the tickle in the preseason. I wanted more of a tickle in week 1. Oh, they tickled my fancy last night. Now I don't even know what they'll do in preseason game number 3, but I like the tickle.
You love the Drake.
That's right. That's right. I love the Drake. But I liked what I saw. I mean, I you know what's funny? Out of all the quarterbacks that played last night, Brissett, Tanner McGee, Kenny Pickett, Will Grier, Joe Milton, whoever, in my opinion, the best quarterback out there was Drake May. And that's a guy who was drafted in the first round 3 years ago? I thought Drake May was the best quarterback on the field. So what does that say to fans when that guy's not going to start week 1? I get it, Skaz. I'm in on it. I'm in. Again, we saw J.J. McCarthy light it up. What happened to him? He's out for the year. Still think Jacoby Brissett starts week 1, but did their plans change by the performance? I'm saying it's more about Brissett being a problem and them trying to send a message more than it is the belief in Drake May.
So for me, it's not even really a Brissett versus May thing. It's more the roster. Is the roster ready for Drake May? Because Drake May could be good. He could be very good as a rookie, but I just don't think the roster is in a spot where the risk outweighs the reward. I just don't see Drake May elevating this team to, a point where they're in the playoffs or something like that. So I want to see Drake May play. I think he should start some games this year, but right out of the gate, I just think they got to figure out that offensive line first. They got to figure out what they're going to do with the weapons, who the weapons are going to be. So, a guy we've mentioned a couple times is Burrow. Burrow came in, started right away, and while he looked great at times, his offensive line and the team around him weren't that great, and he ended up getting hurt because of it. And Burrow's still awesome, but now he has an injury under his belt, missed time, and the Patriots, you're taking that risk, and I just don't think they're in a position right now to take that risk.
Yeah, and if you're using Burrow as the example, are they still as good as they were? I don't know. I mean, they got guys with contract issues. They lose their running back. There's a lot of things there. He has to bounce, but they lose some linemen too. Is Trent Brown playing yet? I don't know. Is he? I know he failed his physical immediately, which I don't think that should have been a surprise whatsoever. But I got tickled by Drake May. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. I just saw one that says, countdown to May Day. There's a bunch in the chat. But Dean in Shrewsbury's on the line. Hey, Dean.
Hey, pro tip, Joe. Reese's peanut butter cups with caramel. Oh, my God, it's so good. You got to try it out.
Where are those?
Those are like every convenience store you could ever imagine. They're really pushing them hard.
Well, I guess I'll have to try that out. I'll freeze them, too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I'm in favor of the Judon trade. I think it's good to get an asset back for somebody who's 32 years old, coming off an injury and wants a big contract. Now, obviously, the Patriots have money to spend, but I don't think they should be spending it on overspending it on players who are on the wrong side of 30. For Drake's sake, we gotta get younger players in here and get some draft picks accumulated to grow with him and not hold on to these older players.
Yeah, it's funny when they scored that touchdown with all 5 rookies in the field. There was a part of me that was like, let's just go young. Screw it. Go young. Let them all play. The quarterback position's a very sensitive position. If you're the starter and they draft someone else, the starter gets upset, right? If you're the younger guy and you play more, well, you shouldn't play him because he can get hurt with what's in front of him. There's this is where the Patriots are at, everybody. Like, whatever decision they make, we'll question. I do want to get to Gerard Mayo, though, and some of his moves. And again, how do we even evaluate it? But I got tickled. I got sparked by Drake May's performance. And, I've watched a lot of these quarterbacks over the last week or so. He looked pretty good. I got to tell you. Doesn't mean he has to play right away, though. But people will, the pressure will be on. Let's talk to Anthony. He's in the truck. What's up, Anthony?
What's up, Joe? How are you?
How you doing, bro?
We're doing all right. I was just more curious on the confidence of Joe Milton last night.
Who?
A couple of the hits they took. I understand.
Who?
Come on. I understand that the fact that it's only like the second and thirds or the fourth or the fifth or whatever it is. But, man, he put his shoulders down. He was hyped up. His confidence levels are very high. I don't see a point in starting Drake May just because of the fact that what Skaz said, because Skaz is the man, that, you don't want to get him hurt. So why not put somebody else out there for at least a couple of games this season? Because honestly, Brissett, after that little stumble that he had, it looked like he might have been hurt.
You think Brissett got hurt? Where?
I don't. When he had that little stumble there,
when he set up for the field goal at the kicking net. Did you see that?
Brissett.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Brissett.
about. Yeah.
No, when he took a 2-step back, went to go throw it, and then he ended up getting.
Anthony. So you're saying that? So you think he may have gotten hurt?
I honestly do think that he got hurt. I think that he stuck it out. Can
I double down on that?
Yeah.
Do you think that's the reason why it might be ramping up that May's playing more?
I don't want it, to be honest. As a Patriots fan, avid Patriots fan, I loved what Drake May did last night. He was fantastic. Baker dropped those 2 balls, and that first one was beautiful, man. I love what he did. But Preem, just like Skaz said, like Joe Burrow, I don't want him to get hurt, man. I just want to be able to watch something for the next 10 years. My kid, or whatever, he has never seen what we saw. He's honestly, because he's a younger child, he's 10, he's never seen what we saw as growing up. It's not the same. If you have somebody that's electric and exciting, that's where it is. If Brissett can't play, then why put May out there to get creamed? Put somebody else out there.
We're on the same page. I don't need Drake May to play right away. I think for his own benefit with the offensive line, it might be best for him not to start right away.
I agree with this.
But you are now, my antennas are up. You mentioned Brissett potentially being injured.
I think that he really was, man. When it comes to non-contact, he slipped, man. Non-contact is the killer of everybody. Arian Foster was the main.
I hear you, but you might have a take here.
I always have takes.
I know that, but if he's injured, is that the reason for Mayo saying there's a competition?
I think that there might be. I think that is definitely what it is. But I also don't think that May should go out there, if anything. I think that if we're going to do this, and Brissett's hurt, that you put Milton in, and you see what you have. He really looked confident, and that's all you really ask for a quarterback.
Hey, by the way, Joe Milton running into the linebacker, not smart, but he trucked him.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And he got up and he talked all that smack. He was all about it, man.
What's the flavor this week you guys got?
So this week's over. Next week is one of my favorites, actually. I'm like sick to my stomach. I ate so much today. Was chocolate ice cream and toasted homemade fluff with graham crunch. It's a different take on s'mores. Yeah, that one was very good, Joe. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm interested, so thank you for
calling. You come through and you let me know.
Right,
Jazz as well. I already owe him one.
That's right. All right, thanks, Leno. Appreciate you. Did he just uncover something there? I know him. So, and again, he's a huge sports fan and has a great ice cream company. He may have uncovered something, Skaz.
Well, Joe, we've never been ones to shy away from conspiracy theories in the past. Could this be the reason Elliot Wolf is speaking on Sunday?
Just button it up real loud now. Okay, I need somebody out there.
I don't think Jacoby Brissett was hurt last night, but I'm in for the take.
I don't know either. I like it. Something's changed. Something's changed in that locker room. Still, it sounds better on that other mic. I don't know. Zoe's mic.
The sniffing microphone.
Yes. Zoe's mic's a sniffer. So, has things changed?
But if Brissett is hurt, I don't want Joe Milton out there either.
If you know who the starter is if he goes down.
It's Bailey Zappi. It's fourth quarter Zappi.
Or it's Ryan Tannehill.
No. I'm not doing Ryan Tannehill.
Drake May, everybody. This is what I mean, Skaz. You don't want Zappi. You don't want Tannehill. You don't want Milton. You don't want Mac Jones.
Certainly not.
You don't want Carson Wentz.
Absolutely not.
You don't want Trace McSorley.
I saw Nathan Rourke who said
you don't need that. He's back to he's going to make more money in the CFL than he does here.
He's going to light it up.
You don't want Will Greer, right?
Joe, I'll be honest. I was a big Will Greer guy coming out of West Virginia.
He went 2 for 3 last night and blew the 2-minute drill. They were pissed. They didn't. When he called the timeout. No, he took a delay of game, right? And he went to walk over to the coaches, and they were like, "Get out of here!"
Talk about guys with a rocket arm.
He could sling. West Virginia.
They threw the ball quite a bit.
Like Matt Corral's back. You want all those guys?
Who's been signed and dropped more, Matt Corral or Rich Hill?
Rich Hill because he's older.
I think I saw Cotillo tweet. It's been 8 times Rich Hill has been signed by the Red Sox.
Just a random Rich Hill take. I grew up in Hyde Park. He grew up in Milton. I literally played against Rich Hill. So I'm 42 and washed up. He's 44.
There's a T-shirt.
Yes.
I'm 42 and washed up.
I'm 42 and I'm washed up.
I'm a man.
And this dude's still in the league? How? I don't. Congrats to you, bro. For real. See, this is why we should have been born lefties. You know, just be a lefty who could throw a baseball.
Joe, I got to say, I don't think the lefty thing would have done it for me, but it's a nice thought.
Well, no, I mean, Jamie Moyer.
They're also like 6'5".
No, that helped. Rich Hill's tall, too, so I'll give him that. He's got long arms.
You're like Tim Lincecum.
Yeah, no, he was solid for a while. He fell apart. See, he didn't do the juice. He should have put it in his hair. I mean, yeah, that guy kind of reminds me of the kid from Dazed and Confused. Remember the kid who pitched in that one and they got the whackings? Oh, well. All right, well, we got to hit the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray. What are your thoughts on Drake May? Were you sparked? I was sparked. I do want to talk about the receivers last night and how they played. So we'll do all that Coming up on the other side, I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, well, the Red Sox are in action right now, right this second, very this second. They lead 2.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Third down and 10 going right to left. The snap is back, and May steps up. He rears back. He throws a deep ball down the middle for Baker. Dives, and it's incomplete as the ball lands at the 11-yard line. He hit the deck. The ball came loose. Ringo was in coverage for Philadelphia. The throw was there for May.
It starts with the protection. Great job by Drake May stepping up into an open area of the pocket, and this is a dime. I know Javon Baker has to lay out to try to reel it in, but he has that in his hands. He's pulling it into his body, and it doesn't come loose until he hits the turf. It's a great throw from the quarterback on 3rd and long, let down by his fellow rookie receiver there.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Skaz is here. It's just us two. Our big boss is still in the building, though, Mary. I bet you Neil's still here, too. The thing is, we can't see anybody here, but on a Friday night in the summer, woof. It's a lonely place here. But thank you for joining us. And you can call in at 617-779-0985. I posed the question out to you all. How do you feel about Javon Baker? Looks good in practice, fast on the field, gets open. Think he's had some problems with communication with the quarterback. And last night, I think he had some problems catching passes. So where do you stand on Javon Baker? And where do you stand on Drake May potentially getting more reps, and what's behind Gerard Mayo now saying that there's a competition? I think it's a Jacoby Brissett issue. I think Jacoby Brissett's has been named the starter, and he made a really bad mistake on the goal line last night where I still think he's the week 1 starter, but I think Gerard Mayo is sending a message to him. This is the NFL. You can be guaranteed one thing. Something can change in an instant. You could lose your job. That's the NFL. And, we'll get into Gerard Mayo and his performance, et cetera, going forward. But I don't know how to feel yet about him. I don't know how to evaluate him, and I don't even know if we will be able to evaluate him. Like, at some point, I wonder if he's going to lose a game for the team based off a decision he made. But when it comes to May and Brissett, I think it's a Brissett problem, and Mayo sending a message. And, if it's true, and Drake May now is in a competition, what's best for the team in the future is him not playing right away. But I don't think the issue is necessarily Drake May's. Now, James Scaramuzino wrote, "Are the Patriots ready for Drake May today?" You can read that somewhere at 985thesportshub.com. And we've retweeted it as well, so you can follow us. That's if you can't find it on the site. You can find us on our socials. But we saw real glimpses of Drake May's talent and the potential, says James Scaramuzino. When May was selected 3rd overall, he was viewed as more of a project than some of the other first-round picks. So while May's timeline may be moving forward quicker than expected, he's not sure the Patriots roster is ready for him. Skaz, anything else you'd like to add from this article?
Yeah, I think that's just kind of the conundrum the Patriots have found themselves in. They're not a very good football team. They have a bad offensive line. They haven't had a succession plan at quarterback, and now it seems like maybe, we're going off a very, very small sample size, but this is what you do when you draft a quarterback 3rd overall. You overreact. You hope, Joe, and Drake May gave us hope last night that he could be the guy. And the only way to find out truly if he is the guy is to get him on the field and see him, in live NFL regular season action. And I don't know if the Patriots as a roster and as a team are in the best position to do that for Drake May. Drake May's timeline might be further ahead than the Patriots thought, and I don't think their roster is in the best spot to, have a safe, or not even safe, but just a kind of a soft landing spot for Drake May. Just look at their schedule. They have the Bengals right away. They play the 49ers early in the season. Like, this is a very tough schedule with a lot of very good defensive fronts. And you look at Caleb Williams in Chicago. He's got numerous weapons, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, solid line. McCarthy had Justin Jefferson. Obviously, we're not going to see him now. Penix probably isn't going to play right away, but the Falcons are a more complete roster. So, yeah, I just think the Patriots have put themselves in this position where you drafted a kid 3 overall. He's showing us glimpses that he could be the guy. People want to see him. Fans want him to play. It's a lot more exciting if Drake May is the quarterback of this team than Jacoby Brissett, but can the roster around Drake May keep him healthy? That's really what it is. Like, a quarterback's job is to elevate the talent around him. A lot of quarterbacks are going to start on teams with not a ton of talent, but it's the line. It's keeping him upright and not setting him backwards would be, probably the more succinct way to say it. Is just the fear that you play this kid and the team isn't ready to protect him. The team isn't ready to make sure he's in a spot where he's not, damaging his future going forward. So, yeah, that's just what gives me pause. Obviously, I want to see Drake May play. If he's the most talented quarterback on the roster, the best quarterback on the roster, he should be out there, but can they protect him, Joe? And I don't think we know if they can. I don't feel confident that they can.
I don't either. I'll say this. Something else you wrote in the article was, is getting a few more wins this year, risking that, worth the long term?
Yeah, because even that's not a guarantee.
Yeah, like, let's say the win total's 4 and he gets them to 6 wins. Is that worth the upside? I think that's a debatable question.
Absolutely. I know there are people, Felger is one that we've had this discussion with, where he believes the playing time, building a culture, setting a foundation is huge, especially in the NFL. For me, I would like to see Drake May play, get a couple more wins, but then you're hurting the draft pick and you're taking the risk that Drake May is going to stay healthy and the line's going to be able to protect him. And that's the decision the Patriots have to make now. I still think it's Jacoby Brissett week 1, but the more of this version of Drake May, the Drake May that we're hoping for, we get to see, just the louder the noise is going to get around the Patriots to play him.
All right, your thoughts? Play May? Mayday? Reveal the Tar Heel? Oh, yes, there could be a lot of them. Get ready, Skaz. We're here all night. I'm ready for him. It's a Friday night. Let's get wacky. 617-779-0985.
We've already got one conspiracy theory, Joe.
You know what, though? If there's anyone out there that sees a video of Jacoby Brissett sore, limping, upset. If he was hurt, he would not have been on the sideline, is my only take. By the way, did you see David Andrews just holding his pads like this? Every time there was a sack, the Crafts Network would just go to David Andrews.
David Andrews, not impressed with his fellow offensive lineman last night.
The Vidarian Low one. So, okay. All right. I play a little tackle my day.
Here we go. Joey from Hyde Park calling in.
So here's the deal. If there is somebody on your left side and they shoot the inside gap, you're still supposed to protect your lane. You don't just follow the guy because he went inside. You protect your lane. What are they teaching these guys? And if they're teaching them, but they're not doing it in the game, then they got to get someone in there who can just... I'd rather someone who does the right thing. Right now, the Patriots roster, I'd rather the guy who does the right thing than the more talented guy. Because Vidarian Low, when the running back's there to help chip, and the guy goes inside, he goes inside with him. Bro, you need to stay in your lane. That's line 101. What are you doing? And when that happened, they zeroed right in. They zeroed right in on David Andrews, and I think he mimicked something like, how did he miss that? Oh, I saw it. Your thoughts on the Patriots and more. We'll take this to 55. Why don't we take a couple of calls here? We got Mike. He's in Billerica. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, great show. Listen, May's going to be the quarterback of the future, and it might be 2 or 3 games into the season. If that line is so bad, who knows how long Brissett's going to last. So, I say let Brissett start off the season, and if he's that bad, they'll have May in there, and in the very near future.
All right, Mike, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. Man, looking at that schedule, we can redo this later on tonight, but they play at the Bengals. The only chance I give them in that one is the Bengals have struggled in week 1. They lost again last year. They host the Seahawks. Now, West Coast to East Coast, 1 o'clock game. Generally, if as a bettor, you would think that that's advantage Patriots, but that hasn't been the case of late. So I'll get you a line on that one. The Jets at home. Going to the Jets on a Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be up his they're going to be far up there. It is going to be the ball washing of Aaron Rodgers. Maybe their defense can score. I don't know. And then you go, so you have back-to-back Jets, 49ers on the road. This is why May can't play, people. I love to talk about it. I know we want to react to what we saw last night. But at Bengals, at Jets, at 49ers, 3 out of your first 4 games, woof. You cannot have a rookie go on the road in those situations. I'm sorry. That alone is why he can't play. 3 out of 4 games on the road. Bengals, 49ers, Jets, and then you get the Seahawks coming over in your home opener. I think it's May time. The other thing to look at is Dolphins at Patriots, Texans at Patriots. Those are 2 games where maybe you start to think about it. But then you go to Jacksonville, you get the Jets again. That's tough. Titans, Bears, those are probably some games you can start to look at maybe giving them a start. It doesn't get easy, though, for the – wow. Skaz, give me the wins on that schedule at some point. We'll do that later on tonight. This hour of the sports has been brought to you by Valvoline. It's an oil change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You can save 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline. It's an oil change. They're now open in Franklin, Billerica, and Peabody. I'm Joe Murray. We'll get more into Drake May coming up here on the other side. We'll talk to you on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Hatters, though. So they're up 2-1 right now against Baltimore. And they also released Dom Smith today, Tristan Casas, back up with the team. Drake May looked good in a performance last night in preseason game number 2. Jacoby Brissett threw an interception, though, in the red zone. And Gerard Mayo says today there is still a competition for the quarterback spot. And the Pats, of course, will practice tomorrow for 90 minutes. And then Elliott Wolf will talk to the media on Sunday before practice. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. Red Sox now lead 4-1. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
Boston, the greatest sports town in America.
We have a farm. I have about 200 pigs here.
We get to spill beers on each other without worrying about spilling beers on people.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Hi, Drake. One thing that's been talked about a lot tonight is your composure. I was just wondering if you could talk us through if that's always been a part of your game or how you feel that's kind of developed as you've kind of gotten into the NFL.
Yeah, I think, our job as a quarterback not to get too rattled, try to stay cool and calm and collected over there, and, especially on the sideline. Sometimes I tend to throw my helmet or something. Little things like that can kind of go a long way with just kind of your guys and how they're feeling and kind of setting the tone. So try to stay cool, calm. I probably need to get a little more excited when good things happen. My parents always get on me, say I don't show enough emotion when good things happen. But at the same time, you can't just ride the highs and can't get them down in the lows. So just trying to stay kind of even keel.
All right, Drake May, after his performance last night, I will say this. I think everything about the kid's organic. Not to compare him to Mac Jones, but Mac was considered a tennis brat. And look at right now with the Jacksonville saying there's some things going on there that, they think he's kind of a pain in the ass. But for the most part, I do think guys liked him. It's just, do they respect him?
I think Mac Jones has a little bit of Grant Williams in him, Joe.
Okay, there you go. That's a good comparison.
From Doug Peterson's comments, that's kind of wasn't negative, really, but it was like, this kid is...
It's more knucklehead.
We can't get him to shut up, basically, is what Doug Peterson said.
I don't think he's a bad guy. But is he a knucklehead and does some things in the locker room and maybe a little bit of a frat boy who...
He's like a goofy brat is kind of what he is.
Not to compare the two, but Grant Williams was on this really good Tennessee team and was Pac-12 Player of the Year. Oh, no, sorry, SEC Player of the Year. While Mac Jones was on Alabama after Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa walked into a situation where he just needed to game manage, make good throws, and bing, bang, boom was a first-round pick. I think Drake May's got ability. I think he was really good at North Carolina. I think some of the defenses he played weren't that great, but that NC State defense was really good. I mean, I watch a lot of ACC football, and personally, I don't think it's one of the most competitive, but I think Drake May was projected to be one of the number one overall pick. He fell to 3 because Jaden Daniels had this hell of a run last year and has experience. Caleb Williams, I think people always thought he was going to be one of the top guys. But when it comes to getting excited, and I said it's a spark, let's leave it to Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe, and you got to hear this one, guys. Welcome to the 2024 New England Patriots, also known as Tomato Cans Are Us. This is Season 5 of Life After Brady and Season 1 of Life Without Bill. The Patriots are projected as the NFL bottom feeders, and it's pretty obvious that there's going to be a lot of noise about Drake May between now and January.
He said bottom feeders,
Bottom
Joe?
feeders.
Always.
May, anointed the franchise quarterback, got his first meaningful snaps this preseason, and it gave desperate New England fans something to get excited about. That's what it is. I'm desperate for something when it comes to the Patriots. I'm desperate. I think a lot of people are desperate by seeing anything good. After leaving May on the shelf for all about 7 plays in the first game, the fraud exhibition game, New England's rookie head coach, Gerard Mayo, let the 21-year-old May play 2 quarters against Philly, and it made us want to see more. May put points on the board in his first 2 series, capping the second drive with a 4-yard touchdown keeper. Nice little play there. Both Mayo and Elliott Wolf were interviewed On Channel 4 at halftime, both used the word steady to describe May's first half. Steady. It is the Brass's preferred characterization when describing their rookie quarterback. They're handling May more carefully than the risky business, than the egg. Remember the egg in risky business? This is Boston. We're used to winning. Instant gratification, and it's going to be difficult for the Patriots to feed a fandom that steady diet of good guy Jacoby Brissett if they get off to their expected slow start. There was a lot more to like in May's real game action, running the West Coast offense. He fumbled a snap, he took one sack, but most of the time he avoided the pressure and got rid of the ball when they had to get rid of the ball. He feathered a nice screen pass over the blitz. He connected on a nifty 3rd and 5 over the middle to Javon Baker. He lined up in the shotgun with an empty backfield. He's taken a crash course in footwork 101, but he's surprisingly athletic. I'm not surprised. He rushed for over 1,200 yards in 2 years. And he talks about playing behind the first offensive line. Mayo saying he had great composure. Perhaps May's best moment came in the first series after halftime when he dropped back to throw a perfect home run ball down the middle to Baker, which, of course, he dropped, right? But there's going to be pressure to play this kid. I got tickled. I'm desperate. I wanted something. I got it. But I need to be realistic, and I think you do too. That's a gauntlet of a schedule. I can't believe we haven't even talked about that schedule. Bengals on the road first game. You don't want a rookie quarterback on the road in the first game. You don't want that. Sorry. If this was college football, a freshman quarterback going on the road, you would bet the hell out of that guy. You would fade it. Oh, then you want him to go to Seattle with the 12th man? It's not happening. Oh, then play the Jets on prime time? Oh, then go to the 49ers. Go there. Go there. Watch what their offensive line does. Watch what their defensive line does to the Patriots. Then you have a discussion. Do you want to start him against a Dolphins team? Do you want him to go against a Texans team that's one of the favorites to make the Super Bowl? Do you want him to go on the road against Jacksonville and play there? By the way, that's in London. I don't know why I keep saying it, but that could be one, Skaz. Him starting in London, 9:30 a.m. start.
Mac Jones versus Drake May.
I can't even think I didn't believe it. I can't. I can't compute it. Imagine.
Trevor Lawrence has a high ankle or something. You know, he's got to sit a week or two. Here comes Mac Jones and the Jaguars.
Isn't that weird? Wow. Then they get the Jets. They go to the Titans, to the Bears, back-to-back road games. The Rams at home, loss. To the Dolphins, loss. The schedule is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. All right, your thoughts at 617-779-0985. We're going to talk to Henry McKenna coming up in just a little bit. He is from Fox Sports. We catch up, ask him a couple of Gerard Mayo questions. Somebody just tweeted at me. I was about to compare Mac Jones and Grant Williams. What a comparison, huh? Those two? They are very much alike. So we're here until 11 o'clock tonight to see you guys on YouTube. Who do I see in there? Brother Bluto. Einbein. VB. Skaz is in there. I see you. We got a bunch of people in there tonight hanging out. Bryson as well. And again, the phone number here is 617-779-0985. We got Jeremy in Roxbury. What's up, Jeremy?
Joey.
How you doing?
We're a little bit nervous about the line. I don't know how Drake's going to do with this group in front of him, but I think we're starting to overhype this one big pass that he had last night. I have not stopped hearing about this.
I'm sorry. What was you might have went out a little bit when you said that.
I think we're overhyping this one pass that he had last night. Are we not concerned about any of his other plays here? It's been all talk about this one pass that he had to Barker, and the only thing talked about.
I think he looked better than Jacoby Brissett.
I agree.
Okay, so then let's not talk about it.
I just think we need a better line. End of story.
Yeah, but I got a show to do today. You ever heard that line before?
I absolutely have, and that's why we're listening.
What do you want me to talk about? Wrestling? You want me to talk about,
Let's talk about Champions Pub.
Who?
Champions Pub.
I love Champions.
It's the best.
I love them. They're great. They're around the corner from my house. Dom's is still number one to me.
Yeah, we just left the 99s in Charlestown, so it does the job, but no Champions.
Are they still doing the shuttle from the casino to there?
I couldn't tell you. If we knew that before we left, we probably would have hopped on it.
Oh, is that where you're going now?
No, we can't afford that tonight.
Just the 99. Gold fever wings?
Just the 9s. We did tips and tenders.
Ah, they got a nice little combo there. I've had that.
Yeah, pup cheese doesn't go wrong.
Yeah. So, dude, what do you think I should talk about then if we shouldn't talk about Drake May?
Thoughts on Zappy? I'll hang up and listen.
I thought Zappy came in and went 3 for 4 last night and was going to lead him to victory, and then some guy couldn't snap it. He snapped it off his leg. Who the hell was that guy? They don't have a guy that can snap. Seriously, Skaz. Seriously. You get down, right? Hold it on the laces, you get down, right? There's 2 ways you can do it. You could throw it backwards in a spiral, or you can just underhanded diaper style right back there. Why can't they find a guy to do that? These are professionals. They don't have a guy that could snap a damn football. Or a backup guy. And they're trying all these guys who... imagine if you could snap a ball. You'd make the team. Like, this is where the Patriots are at. 5 years removed from Tom Brady. 1 year removed from Bill Belichick, and they have a guy who can't snap. I mean, at least in 2001, they moved Damian Woody over, and Mike Compton could snap. So, like, that's how you knew they were going to shotgun, because one would go from guard to center. But you know what? They couldn't stop it anyways. Ryan's in Methuen. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
How you doing?
Hey, my question was, do you think Drake May will get a couple starts over Brissett at all this season?
I think there's games where maybe Drake May will get a look. Like, it might be better to play him on this game, but then next game it's Brissett again. You know what I mean? But if he plays well, he's going to continue to keep playing.
That's why I agree. I mean, what we've seen so far, I'd rather, give him a chance. I understand why they're not going to start him because they don't want him to get hurt. But, it's better than seeing Brissett and us go, 4 and whatever again. Kind of sucks seeing that.
Well, that's the question. You can win 4 games with Brissett and play him every day. But if you play Drake May, you win 6 games. Did it really help? Was it worth it in the long run? Does he come back with like a lingering injury in year 2 and the team can't play him? And then you're stuck with a Jacoby Brissett again? It's the schedule, guys. Not the line. It's the schedule. Now, the line won't protect him. The line may not protect Jacoby Brissett. That's why Zappy's here. There's a guy in chat that goes, Joe has a thing for Zappy. But no, I was just right last year. I did not see a gap between him and Mac Jones. So that's why I was Team Zappy, because I wanted him to beat Mac Jones, and he did. So therefore, I was right. So that's over now. Now Zappy is just a sacrificial lamb. He is just being wasted. He's there if something happens to Brissett. That's it. He's being used. And that's what he is. He's a mule. That's what Zappy is. Anyways, we're here until 11 o'clock tonight. I have people emailing me about Detroit-style pizza. Does anybody care about the Pats? Is this going to be this type of year now? Is this where we're at?
See, I'm very excited for this year for the Patriots. I think this is exciting, Joe. maybe it's not as sexy as, obviously the Tom Brady years, but it's a new quarterback, new team, new regime. I mean, if you're a Patriots fan, I think it's exciting. It's obviously there's reasons to be worried. We haven't seen Gerard Mayo coach an NFL game yet. We haven't seen Drake May play in an NFL game yet, but welcome to being a fan of, any other team in the NFL. Welcome to being a regular NFL fan
Yes.
where this happens every 5 to 7 years, even less for the bottom of the barrel teams. This is what it's like to be an average NFL fan. It's not just, we wake up in the AFC Championship every year. There are going to be growing pains, and I think that's part of it. Part of this year is figuring out what sticks and what doesn't. Who's going to be here long term?
Yeah, this is like, it reminds me of when the Pats sucked, but they found Troy Brown, right? They started finding these like Dave Wallaba. They started finding linemen. They went to the Super Bowl in '96. They kept some of their big pieces, right? Ty Law, Rodney Lawyer Malloy, Teddy Bruschi, Ted Johnson. Like they had their pillars, but those guys hung around to the point when they won in 2001. That year, they signed so many veterans because it was new. Bill Belichick was new. He had that first bad year, but everything else was, let's see what we have. And they hit on guys like Mike Vrabel, right? They hit on a lot of guys on that team. Matt Stevens was a safety, and I never heard of the guy. But I think that's what this year is. Who's boomer bust? Who they hit on? Who do they want to have going forward? Who sucks? Who's washed? It's going to be one of those years for the New England Patriots. We're going to talk to Henry McKenna. He is from Fox Sports. He was at the joint practices the other day. He watched last night's game as well. So we're going to talk to him, get his thoughts on the Patriots. We'll do that coming up next. We got In or Out at the end of the hour as well. Musings later on tonight. As we're here until 11 o'clock, Skaz is here. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe.
All right, welcome back. 98.5 Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Here tonight until 11 o'clock. We're reacting to the Patriots game yesterday against the Eagles. Everyone's got a spark when it comes to Drake May. Things were pretty down on the Patriots after the trade of Matthew Judon. But let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. We'll welcome in Henry McKenna of Fox Sports. And Henry, I got a little excitement last night when I saw Drake May. They've been holding him back. They've been protecting him. But is this the spark that maybe Patriots fans needed to see after not playing in week one?
Yeah, I bet it was like a real reassurance to the whole sort of fan base. And certainly it was better than what I've seen at the practices I've been to. And so, like, for him to make progress in such an important moment in this quarterback battle, basically when it was sort of approaching the point of no return, even if he doesn't start week one, I think he showed people finally why the Patriots were so enticed by him at third. And you saw the flaws. You saw him pull the trigger on that deep shot for Javon Baker that, everybody I'm sure was like, it's such a close play. But you saw him also want to pull the trigger, go deep in other points of the game where it didn't really make sense. And that's the guy, you take the good, you take the bad. They just have to train sort of those bad moments out of him. So progress, but also, like, remember a week ago, everybody, I think it was yesterday, your competitor radio station was asking whether, like, the Patriots were giving up on him, which was, inane. However, I think let's like be sort of find a middle ground between being overexcited, I think, about him beating vanilla defenses in preseason, and also thinking that somehow that he's a bust after just like a few months.
Yeah, and you said you were at the practice, and I've been down there. He looks the part, right? Big kid, strong arm, but they've set the expectation that this is Jacoby Brissett's job. But after the game, Gerard Mayo says, "Yep, there's a quarterback competition going on." So I ask you, if there is a quarterback competition, is this because of Jacoby Brissett and how he played throwing, a turnover in the red zone, or is it Drake May starting to ascend where they know what Brissett is?
It's all the above, and it's that they've maintained that this was a quarterback competition from the start, that Brissett was the QB1 to start training camp, and that Drake would be able to compete his way into the conversation, and that's exactly what he's started to do. I would say that he literally last night started to do that. I don't think that at any point he looked ready to compete with Jacoby Brissett in the practices that led to this point. The downfield throwing in particular in the pocket is what impressed me the most, and his ability. So, like, as many Patriots fans know, practices in New England aren't full contact, and most NFL teams. And so you don't actually have a really good sense of, was that definitely a sack? Because they can't tackle the quarterback. And so I think, like, really seeing a true pocket where there is actual danger for Drake May, and seeing how he handles pressure, that's what I got a glimpse of on Thursday night. And that's a real positive sign for him finally starting to play his way into the quarterback competition. Whether it's actually safe to start him this year, I don't know. But, he's there.
Yep, and you just saw what happened with J.J. McCarthy, right? Plays a meaningless preseason game, and he's now done for the season. So I have no problem if they don't want to play Drake May. I want the excitement, and that's what I got last night. And it was doom or gloom when they traded Matthew Judon. I couldn't believe it. I was taking calls all night long about, them trading Judon, but it just exposed other things to me, right? The salary cap, the fact that Tom Brady's been gone for so long and they still don't have an offensive line or a premier receiver. So, like, that's what that all brought back to me. You mentioned you were at the joint practices. I mean, the Eagles are a great team, are a year removed from going to the Super Bowl. I know they had some issues this offseason.
What have you heard on the Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts front?
Yeah, it sort of like it doesn't have the same history as Brady Belichick had, but it has that vibe of like these reports leaking out of friction and dysfunction in the relationship between coach and quarterback. The ESPN reported, or I think it was earlier this week, or it might have been earlier than that, but that in order for the two guys to communicate, they need like a third person in the room to serve as their liaison in communication. I guess Sirianni is a super emotional, blunt person, and Hurts is reserved and he's not always forthcoming with what he's thinking or feeling. So that sort of like cool, hot opposite. Those opposites don't attract in this case, and so they've got people working between them to make the relationship work. Now it's Kellen Moore; he's their offensive coordinator after Brian Johnson got fired. Kellen Moore's bringing in this new system that involves. So last year, Philly had the least amount of motion in their offense among all NFL teams, which was sort of surprising given this big influx of motion, but it worked for them because they have such elite playmakers. This year, it's not going to be like that. They're going to bring in motion a lot. And I think they're going to go back to what happened in 2022 and 2021 under Shane Steichen, which was a lot of designed quarterback runs to try and get Jalen Hurts making explosive plays on the ground. So big-ish changes in Philly, some new, some sort of dusting off the old. And I wonder if those changes might help Sirianni and Hurts get along a little better. I mean, winning sort of solves everything. But no doubt the friction there, I think, if there is a lot of losing, for example, or even if there's mediocrity for a team that is expected to make a Super Bowl run, that could spell trouble for Nick Sirianni this year.
All right, talking about Henry McKenna, Fox Sports. Just another couple of Patriots questions, and I do want to just dip in on some other AFC East stuff. But how do we evaluate Gerard Mayo at this point? Just from the preseason game, he didn't call another timeout to have a 2-minute drill, but yet challenged something and it worked. So it's like, oh, he did one thing bad, but did one thing well. Just how do you evaluate the coach, and what are your overall expectations for the Patriots this season?
Yeah, I was talking actually just over lunch with a few of the Patriots beat reporters, and I was like, I don't know if we quite have wrapped our head around the fact that Bill Belichick's departure means losing one of the most careful and intentional and intuitive game managers in the history of the game. I think at the end, people got really frustrated with how he managed games because he had no offense to operate around. And so he was making these very conservative decisions that often drew criticism, on the airwaves. But prior to that, had a reputation for being incredibly intuitive and innovative. Going for fourth downs before that became fashionable, for example. And so when you lose a decision maker like that, Gerard's got big shoes to fill. And then put on top of it, Mayo didn't really call plays as a coordinator. He handled a lot of personnel. And so he's just ascended very quickly up the coaching ranks, and he's going to have some skills to learn very quickly. And in-game management is number one, and it's one of the most challenging. I remember when Robert Saleh took his head coaching gig, rather than I can't remember if he called his plays at that time, but knowing full well how difficult and important game management is for the head coach, he hired a guy named Dan Shamash. He's their fourth coordinator. They call him the situational coordinator. He's in Robert Saleh's headset, sort of like Ernie Adams was, presenting a lot of the statistics and the probabilities on the different decisions on whether to go for two, whether to go on fourth, what the down and distance probability means for a win and for their own conversion. All those like advanced statistic type decisions, Dan Shamash would feed them to Robert Saleh as he made the decision. And then Saleh could decide whether he was going to follow probability or follow his gut. But someone like that, I think it's going to be Evan Rothstein, maybe. Someone like that for Gerard Mayo will be quintessential to his development as a true head coach, because, that's ultimately so many of the NFL games are just decided in the fourth quarter. It's kind of that simple. And so, like you're saying, seeing those growing pains of the preseason, those are going to continue into the beginning of the season. And we're probably going to see Mayo lose the Patriots a game or two. The question is, just like what we'll be watching with if Drake May plays, and for that matter, all of the rookies, Javon Baker and Jalen Polk, it's like, okay, we see you make a bad decision. Do you learn from it? How much progress can you make, and how quickly can you make that progress? And by the end of the season, does it look like Mayo's comfortable with his in-game decision-making to the point where, okay, this guy's entering year 2, the rebuild is hopefully on the bounce, and Mayo's sort of like hitting his stride, getting comfortable as a head coach. That's the best case scenario, I would say.
All right, Henry, who wins the AFC East, and any notes regarding Buffalo, who I'm interested in, and what they're going to do at receiver? And, Miami, they kind of stayed put. I know they added another receiver this year, but are the Jets the favorite in your opinion?
I love the Jets this year because of what they did on paper, but they're just the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, can you really trust the Jets to be the AFC East division winner? I can't. I'm picking the Bills. The Bills have Josh Allen, and he makes that pick safe, no matter how much talent drain they had around him this offseason. People, I don't know how closely New England fans monitored this, but there was like a day or two where the Bills cut like 5 starters, and so they lost Mitch Morse, they lost Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, and a number of other players. That was a tough day for, I think, Buffalo, like kind of recalibrating their depth chart, and it's largely because of the salary cap concerns they had. The thing that is remarkable about the Sean McDermott era, he's another guy, by the way, not a very good in-game decision maker, but very good at bringing up talent, developing and coaching up talent. He and Brandon Beane have a really nice relationship in that Beane gets really good guys for McDermott's system, and McDermott does a nice job developing young players into starter or plus like above average to star talent, especially on defense. So I have faith that Josh Allen gets them, the offensive firepower that they need. And I have faith that Sean McDermott sort of plugs in the right players on defense. And I didn't even mention Stephon Diggs, of course, the biggest move of the Bills offseason. And again, that just goes back to Josh. I really think he's probably like the second best quarterback in the NFL right now. That's how highly I view him. And so even without Stephon Diggs, I think you're going to see Dalton Kincaid become one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Khalil Shakir is going to be one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. And then Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman, 2 additions, 1 free agency and 1 rookie. I think those 2 perimeter-ish players are gonna give just enough for that offense to be efficient.
All right, we'll leave it there. He's Henry McKenna of Fox Sports. Henry, appreciate you taking a few minutes with us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Good luck to you this season, and we'll catch up down the road.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Have a great night.
Got it.
All right.
Sports Hub headlines.
Well, that was Henry McKenna, everybody, from Fox Sports. And, well, we got ourselves a baseball game. Talking baseball in Baltimore. Back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's a Friday night here on The Sports Hub. And it's a lonely, lonely Friday night here. But you know what? Our friends in the chat tonight, 72 people watching right now on a Friday, guys. Not bad. Einbein's in there. Bride Juice. I don't know who you are. But how are you? Brother Bluto. It's all the same characters in there. We know who you are. In or out's coming up in just a little bit. That should be fun. Can only imagine what Skaz has up his sleeve. And also, we have a giveaway that we're going to do shortly. So stay tuned for that. This is your daily reminder that the Celtics are NBA champions. And the Celtics schedule is out. Of course, we already know that they play on Christmas Day. They'll open the season up against New York. So that's going to be an interesting game right there. Like the Nova Knicks, right? They're together. Is that going to be something that works out right away? Or could they have some hiccups early on? Where the Celtics, barring injury, have the same exact team coming back. It'll be a great test for both teams. That's going to be a nice opening night game. Speaking of that, I looked for tickets, guys, just to have some fun. What it would be like to go to opening night. I mean, if they want to send us there, Skaz, considering we're the flagship station of the Boston Celtics and work every single Celtics game for the most part. Imagine sending us there that night with a nice old press pass. Because I just want to watch the banner, don't you? I could watch a little of the game and then come back. I don't care. But I looked at the tickets for that night. Loge, Section 18, Loge 18, Row J, something like that. Generally about 250 on a great day. Like, I'm talking Warriors game, like a big team. Right now, that seat for opening night is $2,500 before the fees. That is, they're going to sell the team. They're going to make a lot of money this season. And I keep wondering if that's why they're cashing out. I think we know who's already in the mix to buy it. But that's a lot of money. So I'll watch it at home or here. Listen to it live, through the feed. But opening night against the New York Knicks. Any takes on the Celtics, guys?
Yeah, my biggest takeaways from the schedule release was, and, these things are all, data-based, but according to strength of schedule, the Celtics will have the fourth easiest schedule in the NBA. So that's coming off a championship.
Really? That's just what we need.
Hey, I think that's a good thing, Joe.
Yeah, easiest schedule, number one seed, blowing through all the competition, easy road to the final.
Sounds familiar, Joe.
Back-to-back champs, bet it, plus 1,000. Done.
Another note, this comes from Sean Grandy, of course. The Celtics will play all 15 of their Western Conference road games in just 2 of the season's 7 different calendar months. They play 9 Western Conference road games in January and 6 Western Conference road games in March. So that January into February stretch is the meat of the schedule.
But who comes back? Kristaps Porzingis.
There you go, Joe.
So do you think Christmas Day is a realistic? I don't want him to play.
No.
I don't need Porzingis to play at all.
They didn't
in game one of the.
They didn't need it either. Yeah,
just game one of the finals because that helped them win, right?
Oh, and the pop, Joe. We got a WWE style pop for that return.
Yep.
And speaking of that, the Celtics return to Dallas January 25th. They host the Mavericks February 6th. Another one from Grandy. Boston hasn't beaten the team that they beat for the championship in a title defense season since February 19th, 1987. The Lakers won both games in 2008-2009. That's a Grandy fact if there ever was one right there.
Yeah, I don't care. But that is that's a Grandy fact. Nobody knows more about stats and stuff than him. And I give him credit for it because I don't have that in me anymore.
I believe they also have the third most nationally televised games. It's like 34 or something like that. So that feels about right. I think the Warriors are still number one for nationally televised games, which I get it. Steph is nearing, and I don't want to say he's nearing the end, but it's getting a lot closer.
Oh, yeah, this is the time. If you want to see Steph, now's the time.
Yeah.
Because plus he's an Olympic hero.
Should have been the MVP.
We'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit. But coming up next, you know what time it is, everybody. And it's in or out. And also, caller number 10 right now to the contest line at 617-931-0985 will score a pair of tickets to see the Sun play the Sparks on August 20th in the first WNBA game played at TD Garden. Check out the Suns pregame youth sports festival tomorrow. Visit sun.wnba.com. That's /youth-sports-festival. How about that? First WNBA game at the Garden. There's another game at the Garden this weekend as well. I'm sure you heard the ads. The Big Three also playing their championship game this weekend. We got in or out coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
He'd eat the innings anyways. Kind of guy he was.
We'd lose our guys like Bearclaw if this happened.
Yeah, exactly. Out. That's a hard out. Out.
All right, Joe. Yeah, you put this in Slack as well earlier today. One Stone Cold Steve Austin said he believes that race car drivers are athletes. Joe Murray, are race car drivers athletes?
And if Stone Cold says that NASCAR drivers are athletes, give me a hell yeah. Everybody yells, hell yeah. Listen, I've gone over this. What's an athlete? What's not? The only people that aren't athletes are us, radio people. Now, Skaz is a golfer. Is that an athlete? Yes. But again, I will bring a football in to show you how to snap. Do I have to go down there, Skaz? I will bring a football in this studio, and I will show you how to snap a football because the Patriots can't do it. So, NASCAR drivers are more athletes than the guys who can't snap footballs. He snapped it right off his leg. Zappy smooth. There you go. Boom, boom, psh, boom. It's like Michael Waltrip going around the corner. Who's like a current race car driver? Give me the who's winning the NASCAR series right now? Who's Christopher Bell? Who's him? Alex Bowman, Harrison Burt, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott. Yeah, them. All athletes. Cool names too, like Zane Smith, Ryan Preece, John Hunter Nemechek. Those great names. Martin Truex Jr., Bubba Wallace. Cool names. And NASCAR athletes. Rubbin is racing.
Rubbin is racing, Joe. All right, this might have been the one that started the Slack channel last night because I saw this and I thought, well, there's an in or out for tomorrow night. One Nicolas Cage has been cast to play John Madden. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Nicolas Cage as John Madden?
And if the guy wants to play John Madden, let him play John Madden. He wants to do Matchstick Men? You do it. You want to be gone in 60 seconds? You do it. The thing is he going to gain some weight? Is he going to get the white hair? Is he going to wear the vest? Is he going to wear a headset? What's he going to do? Because, this is my impersonation of John Madden. You see the guard here, and then he pulls here, and then, whoever scores the most points wins the game. Where'd that truck come from? What were some of the lines he did in the Madden games that you can remember?
Boom, 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 boom.
Yes. And then
that was a heck of an effort.
Yes, give me more. I want more Madden.
Yeah, you look at Matt Hasselbeck, and you don't think of him as a runner, but he's a very good runner. This is a bootleg. You see, he fakes the run to the left, and then he comes out here on a bootleg pass. He has the crosser who's covered, so he had to run. He had one guy on the outside, then he has Bobby Ingram coming on the cross. He sees that he doesn't have either thing. He's not going to force it in there, so he turns and runs with it. Well, this has to be an idea that Mike Holmgren has now that he wants to bootleg, because on the first down play, he bootlegged. On the third down play, he bootlegged to the right. Then he comes right back with another bootleg. See, both backs go to the right. And you see Hasselbeck bootlegs out here to his left. So he bootlegged right and then came right.
Couple bootlegs in there. Couple bootlegs.
The thing is, right? Who's going to say something to him? Who would have said something to him? Pat Summerall, who could barely move? And now, it's a touchdown from Kurt Warner. Oh, if you see the guy over here who did the buzz. My favorite was in the replacements. They were the color commentary team for the replacements. And remember Falco, a ball fell on the ground, and then the lineman, then he picked it out and went for it, and he goes, well, if you see here, I like that. That was one of my that was one of my favorites. Chris Mannix just asked, when is the WNBA coming to Boston? 19,000 already sold? I wonder if he's listening. Because we just talked about it. What's up, Chris? But yes, John Madden, Nicolas Cage in. Who could play John? Actually, do you know who I feel like could play a good John Madden? Who's the guy who's always Ben Kreischer? The guy who always takes his shirt off. The
Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer.
No, he's not an actor.
It doesn't matter.
It's just a goofy. That's insulting to John Madden.
Okay, does it have to be a fat guy?
I mean, Nicolas Cage is not a fat guy at all. Maybe he'll wear a suit or put on some weight for the role, but Nicolas Cage, pretty skinny guy.
Who looks like Madden?
Well, you don't have a Farley or someone like that.
The guy who was Tommy Boy's dad, who played Bobby Knight, he could be a good one. Dennehy, is that his name? He could be a good one. I don't know. I gotta think about that. Who else but Nicolas Cage at this point?
John Goodman.
Oh, John Goodman would be great. The Babe and John Madden. You know who I had in my head? Jack Black for some reason. I don't know why.
I think he's too small.
Yeah. Yeah, someone just put John Goodman in the... I don't know why I was thinking Bert Kreischer. What about Shane Gillis? I don't know why I keep going
You're going comedians, yeah.
I don't know why I keep doing that.
I like Gillis, but I can't see him.
Oh, Brian Denny, he's dead. Sorry.
Well, there goes that, Joe. The Joe Murray curse.
Sorry. But he would have been a damn good John Madden. I knew he died. Anyways. Wait, he was your neighbor. What? Says Einbein in the chat.
According to Variety, so take that for your source, actors Will Ferrell and Hugh Jackman were being considered to play John Madden.
Out on Ferrell work too. I know. Andrew Cab in Slack, our chat. Anyways, if Nicolas Cage wants to be John Madden, I'm going to let him. Because you know why? I think he'll be the best John Madden he can be. Might get some weird breakdown stuff though, right? We're gonna get a Madden Telestrator.
We better get a turducken. There's gotta be a turducken.
Yeah. Gotta get the turkey leg. Boom! He's on his back. Tough acting, ton acting. As a fat guy, I sometimes when I wear a nice dress shirt and I tuck it in, my belly shows, right? But if I wear a sweater vest, it covers myself. I feel like he did that. Rex Ryan did that. Bigger guys always did that to kind of hide the old bell, you know?
The old vest trick.
Yeah, I know all about it. Now they have shirts that say that they cover that, but I still see the rolls, baby. All right, what else we got?
All right, Joe. Well, speaking of rolls, we're going to head to the world of donuts. We have another partnership. This time, it is Krispy Kreme and Dr. Pepper.
Saw this.
Yeah, I know you did. Krispy Kreme is set to introduce a new Dr. Pepper cream-filled donut. Joe Murray, are you in or out on a Dr. Pepper cream-filled donut?
Ooh. Well, I told you I don't drink soda anymore. And pound for pound, in my opinion, Diet Dr. Pepper's the best diet drink going. I think I'm out. But I got one for you, Skaz. What if I cooked 2 quarter-pounder burgers on a grill with cheese? I took a Krispy Kreme glazed donut, cut it in half, and, put the donut on the grill for a little bit to get it nice and toasty. Then put cheese, burger, top. In or out?
That feels like something you try once, but you can't do that. I mean, that's your whole day.
So then
right there.
try the Dr. Pepper one once then.
That's your whole day. That's a nap waiting to happen right there.
Someone wants us to shout out Congdon Donuts. I've never been there. You know who tells me about Dom? He's got a spot up there. Someone mentioned, how do we leave out Frank Caliendo?
I think he's too small, too. He's a little guy.
Little guy. All right. I think I'd try it once, but I'm out. But the burger, though, like a honey dipped glazed burger. Thank you, Lava Cakes. That's true. Where has Frank Caliendo been? He hasn't been relevant in a long time.
Yeah, the last I remember of him was him doing like the Mel Kiper, Belichick, Andy Reid skits.
Yeah. All right, anything else, guys?
All right, Joe. This from Illumination. An animated Barbie movie is being discussed. The hope is for Mattel to create a Barbie animated franchise to the likes of the Super Mario Brothers. Joe Murray, would you be in or out on an animated Barbie movie?
I think I'd be in, but I feel like I'd rather just have an animated movie about the princess from Mario. So, like, if they're going to make it like Mario, why don't we just have it about the princess?
I don't think it's going to be about Mario. They're just, like, trying to compare it.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, fine, I'm in. Fine, I'm in.
You want a Princess Peach solo movie.
Correct.
I'm surprised they haven't, ventured into that.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Yeah, speaking of your guy, Jack Black.
Yep. I'm in on that, but, like, do I need it? No.
All right, Joe, you just put this in Slack a couple minutes ago. That is one Tony Khan reported that he wanted Charles Barkley to join AEW. Joe Murray, would you be in or out on Charles Barkley in AEW?
Do you know what I think I would really like? Is Chris Jericho does a lot of broadcasting now because he's getting a little older, but he still wrestles. Barkley and Jericho together commentating, I feel like that would be gold. Like, because Jericho's going to go at Barkley, and Barkley's going to... It's going to be like fair game. Maybe Tony Schiavone would be like the other guy who's kind of middling it in there. I'm in on that. You know what, though? He's big, and they have the tie-in with TNT still and all that. I'm surprised WWE hasn't done it yet with Barkley. So, if I'm in, I actually think AEW needs to do stuff like this because I know they're a wrestling company. When I watch WWE, it's entertainment, right? So it's like I get real wrestling with no storyline.
For the listeners at home, Joe Murray is pointing to wrestling on TV right now.
Yes, Cody is in the ring with a chair looking at Kevin Owens right now. They're going to fight. Well, not now, but they're going to fight. Anyways.
Joe, since you brought it up, I was unfamiliar with this, but I was listening to a Neil Brennan podcast recently, and he had Chris Jericho on. Are you in or out on Chris Jericho's band?
Fozzy, very good band. Yeah.
So they are like actually a good band?
They're actually a really good band, yeah. Listen to the song Judas by Fozzy, very good. Yes, very popular. They were all music. They're all real music. I mean, they wanted to be with Chris Jericho. They're Chris Jericho's band, essentially. But yeah, they're all real musicians. They're good. I like them.
He was a very interesting guy. It was a good interview, but I just had no idea that he was in a real band.
He is like Bret Michaels. I hate to say it.
We're gonna get a Rock of Love or whatever it was.
There's already the Jericho boat.
Oh, he has a show.
There
already.
is. Yep. They do a live podcast on that.
You don't get TV like Rock of Love or I Love New York anymore.
I'm looking at the Twitter. Race car drivers are all athletes, but they're suspect athletes. That's fine. They're an athlete. Dick Trickle. 90% of the game is half mental. John Madden, famous quote from the game. John Goodman would be. Will Smith is who? Who? Madden?
Will Ferrell was the rumor.
Oh, Will Ferrell. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I say Will Smith? I apologize. No Tucky. Makes fat guys skinny. Makes skinny guys buff. No Tucky. I know the feeling, bro. All right, that it?
That is going to do it for a Friday night edition of In or Out.
Everybody was in on it on the chat. Wrestling is cool. Get to the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, the Patriots.
Into the end zone. Touchdown.
WBXE-FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox lead 8-6. They got out to an 8-4 lead, and it's only the fifth inning. 8-6. This is not going to be a good outcome. I can already tell you right now. Runners on first and third, bottom of the fifth, one out, and a lefty that I can't right now tell you who he is. Horn. Bailey Horn. Bailey Zappi. Bailey Horn. And the Patriots had their preseason game yesterday. They lost 14-13, but Drake May played well. I should mention that Dom Smith got released today, and everyone's sad. We are too. Headlines are brought to you by Eastern Mass, leader in drain cleaning and pipelining. Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray. Next update soon.
You want to talk sports? We want to talk sports.
Squeeze the chicken and open the mouth.
It's like we were meant for each other.
This is why you need us.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. You watching any of this Fanatics Fest stuff, guys?
I've seen some clips flying around. I know a lot of your good buddies are over there.
Chris Costa, friend of the show, in Card Vault's down there.
Opened some packs on the show.
He did, live in studio. So, I'm going to put Chris over because I think he's the top. When it comes to the hobby, I think he is the top guy right now. Meaning, you want a pack of cards that get debuted that day. They have it in their store. But the other thing is this guy is doing breaks with Michael Rubin of Fanatics and Dana White of UFC. And ho-hum, now he's got Tom Brady in his back pocket as buddies. He's just at his shop the other day. Some kid says his favorite player is Tom Brady, and he just FaceTimes Brady out of nowhere. And they took a picture today. I on our Instagram page. Please follow us. We post our articles there. You can, if you can't find them on the site, you can find them on our Instagram page. I'm Joe Murray. But yeah, friends of the show is what I tweeted or what I put in the because they are. Tom Brady's now a friend of the show. Chris now a friend of the show. But Gronk was there today, and when you get a slab card, right? It's really hard to break them. A lot of people break them so they can grade them again. Well, Gronk spiked one, signed it, and they're probably going to send it back out to get graded. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then another thing that happened today is they have 2 Patriots full uniforms that you can wear. One is Rob Gronkowski. The other is Tom Brady. So what happened today? Gronk put on the number 12 jersey, full gear. Tom Brady jersey. So what did Brady do? He put on full Gronk gear. So Brady's wearing 87, Gronk's wearing 12. They're banging heads. And who walks into the room? Roger Goodell. And they took a picture together. Roger Goodell, Gronk as Brady, Brady as Gronk. You know what, though? For FanFest weekend, I think that's pretty cool. Now, Portnoy and Portnoy and Goodell, I like.
I don't know if you're getting that picture.
I know, but because do you imagine how people would call him a sellout for that? He'd get no. If I was Dave, I'd do it. If I was Dave, I'd be all over it.
I think he won. Remember when they were auctioning stuff off, like the NFL? I think it was during COVID or something. I think he bid $250K to watch a game with Goodell at Goodell's house. That was the big ticket item.
I remember that.
That never happened.
Yeah, it was to just sit in the basement and watch it when they showed the basement too. No, but I would do it if I was Dave. I would do it because he'd get trolled for it, but I think it'd work. Anyways. We'll have more on Fanatics Fest. It's a big weekend there. Big card weekend for all you hobbyists. I'm going to be at Polar Park next week, too, for those that want to hang out. I got a big table, bunch of slabs, custom stuff as well. I'll be at Polar Park, table 60. Come on by and see me. I'll be there. All right, we're going to take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
It's Felger.
Around here, we call them the Joe Murray pre-party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. But let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline right now. Welcome a friend of the show. We had him on last year when the Big Three was in town. And, of course, they'll be here again this Sunday. And Ice Cube joins the show. Ice Cube, how are you tonight, bud?
Yeah, what's up with you, man?
Yeah. Appreciate you joining us. I know you guys got a big event this weekend over at the Garden, the championship of the 3-on-3. Why'd you pick Boston? I mean, obviously a big basketball town, but how'd you pick Boston to be the place where you wanted to have the final?
Well, like you said, big sports town. We've been to Boston a few times over the years, and it's always been lit. Like, the crowd has always been into the league, into the games. We always got nice, thick crowds in Boston, and it's a trip. One year we was here, we was a little worried because the Red Sox was playing the Yankees. I think the Patriots had a preseason game, and Justin Bieber was performing like near. So it was like 1,000 reasons why, you might not want to go to the big three. It was like, so, but look, the building was full, a lot of people in there, and we was like, yo, Boston is lit. Last year was crazy. It's what, really induced Jaylen Brown to play because he came to the game and he dug it, and then he ended up coming to London and playing, and it was like, yo, let's go back to Boston with our best, like our championship game, our all-star game, and our celebrity game. So that's the story. We know Boston loves sports, just won the championship, so everybody probably still got basketball fever, and it's a perfect town, perfect time.
You got it in the Big Three's basketball championship game this Sunday at TD Garden. You got Gary Payton's Bivouacs versus Michael Cooper's Threes Company. 2 Hall of Famers. Of course, Cooper will be getting in this year, getting his number retired from the Lakers soon as well. But those two guys must be talking a lot of trash in a big rematch, right?
Without a doubt. It's cool to for one to be able to work so close with a couple of my heroes when it comes to basketball. Gary Payton and Cooper. I used to watch Cooper. Back in the '80s, battle the Celtics, and came big rivalries, and it's great. I always thought he was a Hall of Famer, so it's great that he gets in this year, and it's cool, that he's back here for the championship against Gary Payton, and they both like number 1 and number 2 squads, the most winning teams in the league this year, and it's only right that they face off.
So the MVP of the league was Michael Beasley. He actually went to high school here in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. And obviously he's been in the league, played a big role for many teams throughout, but he was the MVP of the 3-on-3. Just talk about, his play this year and, just the fact this guy's still going. He's always been a scorer, but he must stand out in the 3-on-3.
Yeah, in the big three, he's a walking bucket. I think look, we only played at 50. I think he's had 30 in at least 3 of the last 4 games, 30 or more. He had 32 last game and the winning shot to go to the championship. So he, has proved himself as the most valuable player. But Corey Brewer, he had a lot to say about that too. He could have easily won it. He won Defensive Player of the Year, but he was shooting for the MVP, so he's gonna have a little chip on his shoulder tomorrow when they play. Sunday.
Sunday, that's right. And Corey Brewer,
Yeah.
former teammate of Al Horford, who won a championship this year with the Celtics as well back in their Florida days. Al Horford still going. Who knows? Maybe someday he might be in the Big Three in the Big Three league. The guy could still play, Ice Cube. This dude, the age, he's gotten better with age. Al Horford.
Yeah, without a doubt. You just said Corey Brewer, was playing. They played at Florida together and won back-to-back titles, and Corey's still playing at a high level. So I'm not surprised that Al is doing the same thing, and we'd love to have him. When he's done with the Celtics, done winning championships.
Yeah, I don't think he's done winning championships just yet. Ice Cube joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston. Of course, the Big Three basketball championship game is this Sunday at TD Garden. I do want to ask you just about 3-on-3 basketball. Obviously, we saw it in the Olympics this year. I know you guys invited the winning team to play. It didn't work out in the end, but was this serious? Like, did they really want to play in this and be a part of this weekend? And it just kind of feels like a missed opportunity on their end.
They did. We had once they won the gold medal, the Netherlands national team, we got on the Zoom call with them, and they were anxious to show everybody what they got. They believe they won the gold medal for a reason, that they're the best. We have no doubt, and anybody that's watching or anybody that saw the games know that we could definitely send better players to represent the U.S. So they were up to it, but look, FIBA. They were nervous about FIBA. FIBA had threatened to suspend them from the European games that they're going to have in a couple of weeks, and suspend them for a year. So they didn't want to buck up against that. And FIBA came with this, excuse of we need 3 weeks, and you only gave us 10 days to make this decision. And it was a lot of blah, blah. So, us and Pat McAfee put up more money to say, hey, let's do a big cup. Let's invite a few different teams from around the world, a couple of the top teams to do a tournament where, this 3-week excuse won't be there. They'll have plenty of time to okay this one. And so we're trying to put that together, hopefully, for January. We'll see.
Yep. No sweat off your back, though. You guys are doing just fine. The Cores have the championship game this weekend. I do have to ask you a couple of basketball questions because you are on the flagship of the Boston Celtics. I know you're an LA guy, but you just saw them win the championship this year, and we just watched the Olympics. What were your thoughts on Jaylen Brown not being on the team and also Jason Tatum being benched for a couple of games for Team USA?
Thought it was a travesty. I thought, once again, politics or politicians and, is stepping their nose where it don't belong. Nowhere in the world Jaylen should have been left off that team. And nowhere in the world Jason shouldn't have played more. To me, it's, they won the gold. So they're not going to look at it as a missed opportunity. But, it still leaves a sour taste in a few people's mouths at the end of the day. Jaylen has really stepped up for the big three. And not only for the big three, but for basketball in general, with his work he's doing with the Players Union and just trying to make it better for players who play this sport that we love.
Yeah. I feel like you would relate to maybe the Brown and Tatum situation. At least these guys are friends. Maybe they don't have to be best friends, but even in the NBA Finals this year, it seemed that Jason Kidd threw out, Jaylen Brown's the best player on the team, yet he's triple teaming Jason Tatum every time. Do you feel like that's the case now when it comes to the Celtics, is people are always going to try to separate those two or try to put those two against each other?
I mean, of course, that's the only thing they can do is try to get in those dudes' head. They obviously can't put a team together that can handle them. So, I think those dudes are very strong mentally, and that's nothing to worry about. They've come through adversity together, and so if they didn't break up through the adversity, they definitely ain't gonna break up once they figured out how to, get to the promised land, so to speak. So they're not gonna let anybody, if they didn't let anybody get in their head when they were, losing the finals and it was tough. It's easy to point fingers and say it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. But they stuck together and brought it home in a dominant, convincing fashion. So people could talk all they want,
Yeah, Ice Cube. We don't want to keep you too long, but I just want to ask you about your relationship with Jaylen Brown. Obviously, Boston extremely lucky to have a guy like Jaylen Brown, not just, what he does for the NBA, but off the court, and just him being a, kind of a guy that is just a great, face for basketball on and off the court. So what is your relationship like with Jaylen Brown? Obviously, he's been involved with the Big Three before.
I mean, he's a brilliant guy. And, we've gotten to know each other over the last few years. And, I'm proud of him. He's my favorite player in the league because of not only his game, but who he is, off the court. He's his game and his brains. And he fights for what he believes in. A lot of people told him, after signing a $300 million contract, last thing he wanted to do was go play in the Big Three All-Star game. But he wanted to, do it. He did it for charity, but also did it for the league to grow, for guys who might, for whatever reason, find themselves outside of the NBA to still be able to live their dreams. And look, we got Corey Brewer and Michael Beasley playing for the championship, in the same arena that the Celtics won it in a few months ago. So that ain't nothing bad about that. That's a beautiful thing. And, Jaylen understands that, how much it does for these guys' mental health, because these guys grew up basketball players, and that's how they want to go out as basketball players, not on the NBA's time, but on their own time.
Cube, I got to ask you before we let you go. We'll sell the tickets in a second here, but looks like you have started yourself a cannabis empire. Tell us a little bit about that, sir.
Wait, say that again.
You started yourself a cannabis empire. You got yourself a nice little company going there with the cannabis.
Oh yeah. We got a little something going on with we got our Good Day Kush. We got our we got our Friday Kush. It's a great thing,
Yep.
It's definitely some of the highest THC concentrate out there.
Yep. Well, it's certainly legalized here in Massachusetts, and I'm sure a lot of people will be partaking before they enter the Garden this Sunday. The Big Three Championship basketball is at TD Garden. Gary Payton's Bivouacs. They take on Michael Cooper's Threes Company this Sunday at TD Garden. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. Ice Cube, I appreciate taking a few minutes here in Boston. We appreciate your support. Love that you guys are here in Boston, and the place will be packed this Sunday. Enjoy yourself, and you're doing a great job with the Big Three, man. Keep it going.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Got it. Thanks, man. That's Ice Cube joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston. Doing an absolutely great job there. So nice job, guys. Thank you so much for getting that all set up. And I had to ask about the cannabis question because it's legalized.
Absolutely. Get your plugs in.
And again, I listening to Ice Cube my whole life, it was always criminalized. So someone like him, who's a producer, rapper, now actor, Big Three owner,
frequent guest of the Night Show.
That's right, two-time guest of the Night Show. I like that he gave us the time. He could have said, "Hey guys, I gotta go. My phone's ringing. I got guys here." But
I know, busy man.
He answered everything. I appreciate it. So Pat Callahan, thank you for setting all that up for us. So shout out to him. But we've been advertising it on the Sports Hub all week. But if you can get over there on Sunday, they have some sort of a Hall of Fame game early on. Like Clyde Drexler is one of the coach versus Ice Cube. They have a lot of things going on there. And again, the big championship game, Michael Cooper, right? So I wanted to bring up Max to see what Ice Cube would say about him. But Michael Cooper just got elected to the Hall of Fame. His number is going to get retired in January. controversy if he should be a Hall of Famer or not, but he's been a coach everywhere. And Gary Payton, those are arguably two of the best defenders of all time, too.
And for people who may have looked at this league, with the side eye when it first came out, these guys, they care. They really care. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, we had Gary Payton and Jordan Crawford going at it. And Gary Payton's one of the coaches, and Crawford's one of the players. And they were going at it during a game, talking trash and basically getting in each other's face. So, this is going to be a very good product on Sunday at the Garden.
And you know what? We know now that, I'm telling you this, basketball here, the Celtics winning the championship and the run that they've been on, I think it's going to bleed into this, right? The first WNBA game is coming to the Garden, right? You're going to be able to, who knows? You could go to Mohegan and see Caitlin Clark. Like, you can do those things here locally. The other thing is, I think college sports is going to start kicking in too. You know who plays in the ACC next year is Cooper Flagg. And he's going to be playing at, County Forum. And at BC, and there's going to be the UMass BC invitational that they have at the Garden as well. Like, the Final Four was in the Garden, the tournament was at the Garden. This is a basketball town. I think it's a hockey town too. Clearly, it's a football town. It used to be a baseball town too, but if you like basketball and like big names, I don't want to compare WWE to the big three, but it's actors, entertainers, and basketball players tied into one, doing something that's a little bit different, but is playground basketball. We all played 3-on-3. We've all done it. Some people are great at 3-on-3 and not good at 5-on-5. It's a certain skill. It's now an Olympic sport. They tried to get the Netherlands there. They couldn't get it done in time. Like, this is a real deal. Caitlin Clark almost got an offer, right? So I wanted to ask him, hey, like, what happened with that? I'm curious who else wanted to play. Like, who else wants? Are there any football players that want to play hoop? Right? Are there any other guys? If we
like
get
Jimmy Graham out there.
I just would like, if we get him for the next year, I'd want to ask him that. So, but pack that place out. You're going to get Hall of Famers galore. Players that you loved growing up, it's going to be a good thing. So I've sold it enough. That was not an infomercial, people. I want you to know. Ice Cube took his own time to call into the show.
Called himself.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, called right
Sometimes you get, someone will be, I'll put you on. He'll be on. Nope, that was Ice Cube.
We were told 9:20, and he was right on the dot. That's a businessman right there, because he's not just a businessman. He's a business man. All right, we'll hit the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray.
We did get a too, Joe. Right up. You were like, you think we get one? I was like, I hope so. We got it right away.
That's me and my friends growing up. That was like when we get excited. Yee. All right, let's get to the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox are winning 8-6 right now. A bunch of pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers. All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Wow, what a dong. Did you see that thing? That was deep.
Old friend Craig Kimbrell. Is that a kind of a tough year?
Jaron Duran just hit one to where the wire in Baltimore takes place. They've been putting that gold medal on everybody tonight, huh? Whatever that thing is. Was that a marathon medal? What is that?
Yeah, it looks like a Boston Marathon medal.
They've hit a lot of dongs tonight. Let me count how many they had. It's 11-6 right now. Let's see. Devers has 26. Duran, 15. Hamilton went deep. Yoshida went deep. That would be a quad dong night.
Would you like the story behind the home run celebration medal?
Please.
From a friend of the night show, Tom Caron. This is from August 10th. The Red Sox have a new medal for their home run celebration. I connected former BAA race director Dave McGilvray with the team, and he donated his 2024 marathon medal to the team. It will be the new home run celebration going forward. A reminder that the baseball season is a marathon.
Ah.
That's better than what a lot of teams do.
Morale's been low. Let's be honest. The Red Skaz, I like the moves that they did at the deadline. I still like the moves they did at the deadline, but have they worked out? They've hurt. But it is a marathon. I like the symbolism there. I do. I like the symbolism with that. I hope that, here's the deal. What I will call a successful season is on the last day of the year, if they have a shot, I'll call it a successful season. If not, I do think it's a stepping stone. So I'm not going to call it a successful season just yet because they're almost where they were last year. Or almost exactly.
I was going to say, I think the record is exactly the same.
So as of right now, it's not a successful season. Are there some positive things? Absolutely. I need them to get through August and when September happens, they're in it. And again, what are they, 2 games out right now? So just be in it. Like, have a shot on the last 2 days of the year, and I'll call it a successful season. And I know, in Boston, if they don't make the playoffs, it's a fail. I get it. But this team, they need to take all the good they can. It's been bad. Tony is in Epping, New Hampshire. Hey, Tony.
Hoorah! Hey, I just wanted to tell you the Ice Cube interview, right? Yeah. What an excellent interview, man. So cool to have you have on such a high-end celeb on there. And he was just smooth. I like his thinking. I was brought up during that time in, like, the rap game. Like, I wasn't in the rap game. You know, never the closest rapper thing that I got to was sitting in Ice Cube's stool out in Cabo San Lucas. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think it was at Sammy Hagar's bar. But anyways, I'm digressing. I wanted to tell you about an in or out and see what your thought is.
Okay.
In or out on a bagel, a triply slice with cheese. You don't have to go extra. Some people would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then you got a chicken patty, Purdue back in the day, another triply slice with cheese, another chicken thing, and then underneath the bagel. In or out.
What kind of bagel is it?
Well, it could be any. It could be your choice.
So I could go cinnamon raisin bagel with, is there cheese or are we just using the pizza?
You know, you could go provolone, you could go extra, but a little extra, it's weighing it down.
It's too much. So
what I did is I smushed them together like a bite.
No, I would do that.
Boom, boom, perfect.
That's exactly what I was telling you. I'm a big man, so I can really, push that thing down.
Right.
So let me just get it right because I made it something. I worked at McDonald's when I was like 16 or something.
Uh-huh.
So I have something called the McMurray, which is very similar. But you have
I have heard you mention that on the air, and it sounds spectacular.
Yep. So you got a bagel bottom with a triple-E slice with a chicken patty, like a Purdue chicken patty already pankoed.
The old school ones, like in the 90s, they give like 4 in a pack. You know what I mean? Not these crappy ones.
Yep.
Right.
And then what, another slice?
Another slice?
Okay.
You could go another chicken underneath and then the bottom of the bagel.
Double chicken and then bagel. So bagel slice, chicken bagel, and then smush it down.
Smush it down, bang. I don't even know if you need to sop it up with anything. I couldn't think of anything. What are you going to do? You'd ruin it if you had like KFC gravy. You know what I mean?
The thing is, though, it's not too thick.
Right.
So I think
it
was
my like if I had a night out and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna friggin' I'd smush that crap together. I'd be good. I might get 1.5 in. You know?
Yeah. It's kind of like a chicken parm bagel.
Yes.
But with triple E's and Purdue.
Yeah. Well, you don't need triple E's. You could substitute it, but I just wanted to throw that out there because I thought, the mind can wander in the pizza game because, you see all that stuff, that Portnoy stuff and stuff. You put like a 6-point something on Tripley's, and I understand people aren't beachy, they don't know.
Yeah.
But I give it like an 8 for being a local. You know what I mean?
I like Tripley's over Christie's, so is that what it is?
Cool.
Christie's? Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I've called in about it before, but man, it's deep in my childhood. I was born and raised in Salisbury,
Oh, you're a Salisbury guy. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We used to
and they always said,
they had
stay
the
the
best
hell away
waves
from the beach.
No doubt.
What's that?
I grew up in Boston, but when we went up there, they had the best waves in town, man. That drops like 30 feet.
Oh, you know what? I really respect, and I know I'm going off tangent with it, but I really respect the waters off of like Plum Island all the way down like Gloucester, like Sandy Point and across the way.
I know,
And I respect the Salisbury all the way up to Hampton too, because it's extremely dangerous. And that's why my parents were like, hey, you know what? Don't go down there as a kid on your bike, and I want you drowning.
Yep. No, I know Salisbury's.
Right?
I love Plum Island. What's weird about Plum Island is it's the cleanest water. I usually go to the refuge over there, but but the Ipswich River like really makes that current over there wild.
Absolutely beautiful. Some of my family was not born and raised down there, but my great grandparents were down there in the end, and they're the first part of the island where they had a hotel early on. And I used to go down there, and when it wasn't like so yuppie-ish like it is now, I'm just throwing that out there, but it is, right? And it was just cool. And you go down for the day, and you didn't throw sunscreen on. You just had an all-day tan. I'm Portuguese, so I tan like 2 weeks in an hour.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you.
Only my two takeaways from that call, Joe. Only on the Joe Show do you get Ice Cube directly into a bagel sandwich. I believe this is the only show in the world you'll get that. And the other thing, too, is that people that are just simply listening to the program are missing a lot what happens when a caller like that calls in. Because that guy calls in, Joe is, he's on the computer looking stuff up. He's got his mouse out. He's doing whatever on the computer. As soon as that guy says, I got a food in or out for you, and he starts to describe the sandwich, Joe pushes away from the computer, folds his arms, and just starts pondering.
I wrote it down.
And then, Joe goes, hold on a second. He grabs a piece of paper and a pencil.
A number 2 pencil.
And starts writing down the ingredients so he can fully examine this sandwich. So if you call in with a food in or out for Joe Murray, just know you're getting his full attention and his full respect.
Yep, that's what happened there. We're going to do musings at the top of the hour because we're running a little late. But JP is in North Providence. Hey, JP.
Joe Murray, put your back into it. That's always a great interview. I heard it last year. Wouldn't it be great if he was dropping some tunes at the finals? That would be outstanding. He just grabs a mic and freestyles. So, Joe, we'll go with food first. Going to Earl's tomorrow night over at Copley.
Oh, Earl's has great burgers. Great burgers. And listen, I'm not one of these guys who says go somewhere to get a burger. I'm not that guy. They have great burgers at Earl's.
We had the ribs the other night. They were falling right off the bone. Going to go sit out on the patio, look at the skyline.
Yep.
Great vibe there. So I'll give you feedback on how it goes. Now we're going to go with a quick question here. I need a sports take. This is a sports show. Give me somebody tomorrow night when we go over to Encore afterwards in 305. Who am I dropping some money on?
Is it UFC?
And then I got one more important question.
Yep.
Public Enemy or NWA, Joe? Who are you going with?
Dude, it's NWA, and it's not even a, like, are you kidding me? NWA, look at, okay, if you just branch off, right, what DJ Yella has done himself, right, and then obviously Eazy-E, what he did. I mean, he found Michelet, he found other people. Dr. Dre found Snoop and Eminem. I mean, the two greatest, and then Ice Cube he's done it all, right? I mean, if you look at it, Dre was a producer and a rapper, but Ice Cube was way more. And it's just, it's NWA.
Not even close, right?
Not even close.
You don't expect that from a 64-year-old Italian from Providence area for a question. Hey, I got two actors for you, though.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe plays Bill Belichick in the movie, and maybe this one's too easy to say, but how about Brendan Fraser as John Madden?
Kind of like the whale.
You get that goofy, lovable posture. Why not?
That's a good one. And I don't want to use the reference from him doing the whale, but I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Hey, I'm waiting for Mummy 4. Bring it back. I'm in.
Oh. All right, man. What are you doing tonight?
Worked late tonight. Took care of one of my kids. Going up the Twin River right now. And just get ready for a night out for tomorrow night, Joe.
All right. Would you eat the bagel? The bagel triple E chicken triple bagel thing that the guy called in on?
I'm a pineapple pizza guy, so I'll try anything there. I remember the days of Ronzio, so I try it. I'm a raisin bagel guy, though. I don't like it all everything bagel.
I love a cinnamon raisin bagel. Nice
when they closed Auburn Pond across from me, I was heartbroken when they shut the one on Boyle State.
Dude, that place was real highbrow, but I loved it.
At least I could order a coffee there and not have to get somebody to translate what a skinny black latte mocha plain stupid ass was when I go to Starbucks. Don't remind me.
Thank you, JP. Have a good night.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, bye. Usually when you get too comfortable with the callers, it's always a little scary. Your finger, I can always see your hand near the dump. All right. We're late. I'm sorry, everybody. Should we still do musings? All right, we're still going to do it. We got to take a break. We got to hit the headlines. Got the final hour of this night coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
8th inning. It's a wild one. A real wild one. Wild one. Wild one. Got a real wild one. Lucas Sims pitched well. But our friend Luis Garcia did not. And those were the two acquisitions at the trade deadline. But Rafael Devers has gone deep. Jaron Duran's gone deep. Hamilton's gone deep. Yoshida's gone deep. That's 4 dongs. And the Patriots, they'll have practice tomorrow. And then on Sunday, Elliott Wolf will speak to the media. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update soon.
To us, Boston pride runs deep. I'm a Bostonian! This is Boston's home for sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5, the Sports Hub.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
Well, of course, the song from Murray's Musings is Ice Cube's Today Was a Good Day. Because he's a friend of the show. 2-time guest now on the show. I do think the first time, Skaz, I talked to him, I was a little, hey, Mr. Cube, how are you, man? Today I was like, what's up, bro? Yeah. Where do we start with Musings tonight? Where do we even start? This Alex Verdugo story is interesting. For those who haven't seen it yet, this came out like right when we started the show. But Alex Verdugo tonight did not play for a certain reason. He found out he's allergic to his batting gloves and maybe his tattoos. So obviously Alex Verdugo is struggling right now. He's got a lot going on. His family's visiting from Arizona. Spent days with his mom, who's been dealing with an illness. And obviously, he had some issues last year, remember? He didn't run a ball out. They kind of went out, it didn't go over well. He missed a fly out the other night. Could have ended the game. Instead, it scored the game-tying run. Like, Verdugo is not doing well in New York. It's just not going well. So his hands have been hurting. He doesn't know why. They've been blistering. They open up. They start scabbing. Dry skin. He's been dealing with it since back in 2021. So after examining Verdugo, the Yankees medical team sent him to an allergist. They believed he was coming in contact with a material that was causing dermatitis. It's a skin condition that can produce rashes, itching, and blisters. You're allergic to your batting gloves, the doctor said. Verdugo is flabbergasted. Batting gloves? Yep. Revealing that his allergic reactions were traced to 2 chemicals in his Franklin batting gloves, cobalt and chromate. Chromate is used to curling the leather, and the cobalt is found in the color dyes. Plenty of doctors have come out to confirm this. And it could be related to the ink in many of his tattoos covering his chest and arms. Neither has examined Verdugo, but they're speculating that could be some of the causes and cures. It's probably the tattoos, says Dr. Arthur, a Manhattan-based allergist. It's very rare, but the tattoos are made of metal ink, and you can get a tattoo allergy to the metal. He was floored. My tattoos? He never thought of that. According to the medical website, only 2% of the population is allergic to cobalt, while 6% is allergic to chromate. It's rare, but not that rare, says another doctor. Allergies to cobalt and chrome or cobalt chromium are metal allergies. The body's recognizing metal as a foreign material, so it's trying to rid itself of that or let the body know that it doesn't like this. It's overreacting. That's what an allergy is. Turns out the condition is not that rare. The Yankees have a second symptomatic player, their number one prospect, Jason Dominguez, who uses Nike batting gloves. He has told Verdugo he has a similar reaction. Dominguez also talked to the first baseman, Ben Rice, about his chronic hand soreness. They were teammates in Double-A last season. It's the same thing Rice said. I wear batting gloves, but I never had any issues. Aaron Boone didn't know anything about this until the advanced media asked him to comment about it. Franklin has thousands, right? I think I wore Franklin's growing up, guys. I don't know about you, but they were really big in the 80s, and obviously they're still going, but Franklin's senior director of baseball operations promised to try to rectify the problem. The company's product designers are looking into manufacturing batting gloves that don't contain cobalt or chromate. It's something that's never come up before, says it. So Verdugo was intrigued about these injections that they offered. Should I keep going? This is wild. So he's got leather issues, tattoo issues, glove issues. He's got his own problems. He's losing games. Tattoos are made of cobalt and of a nickel to give the pigments, and you have a lot of tattoos, so it's rare, but your body can be sensitized. So he's got tattoo issues. This is crazy. And of course it happens to him. I don't know what else to say here.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever heard of someone being allergic to their tattoos before. Maybe, I mean, you read the percentages there, obviously not like that common, but just for the first case to be someone in the MLB that has two sleeves, I'm sure, it's happened to a lot more people that aren't as famous. But yeah, just a wild story for Verdugo, and just your batting gloves are like ruining your hands. And I think I saw in the article, this has been going on since 2021. So it's like you haven't figured it out since then, like with all the best help possible. The whole thing is crazy. It's bizarre almost.
You want to know what's real weird about this story? Do you know where Franklin batting gloves were made? Massachusetts.
That's the weirdest part of the story to you?
Well, I mean, it's karma, right? To the New York crowd.
They're purposefully filling his gloves with allergens.
I mean, who would have thought? You know what's funny? I've used like lineman gloves before. I don't know if you ever seen lineman gloves, but they sometimes. So if I wear them with the knuckle cut up front, I swear to you, I used to get a weird rash on my hand. I don't think they were Franklin though, but that's why I wore the long ones, because obviously I didn't get the rash from it. But I mean, gloves are weird, right? The rain last night, did you see some quarterback, like Doug Flutie always wore a glove. Brady sometimes wore one on his left hand.
Teddy two gloves.
That's right. That's what I mean. Yeah, so like rain gloves, it's interesting how it works. This is a wild story. And Verdugo said he's been having a tough year and he didn't want to make excuses. But he pointed out that the productive offensive season from 21 to 23 playing through soreness, but he's had poor stats, and he thinks that this is somewhat keeping him down. And I don't know, like, now that I think about it, do you think boxers have this issue? I mean, they wear gloves all the time. Maybe they're not as exposed and on and off, right? But could boxing gloves have this type of thing with them? I don't know. But could, like, there be issues with, your joints and hands and weakness in your hands? Because I don't know. This is a wild story.
This is perfectly like Aaron Boone Yankee story. Like, it's just something's always going on over there.
I need someone to break that one down for me a little bit more. Like, I need like the doctor to be like, now this is chrome and this is this and this is where. Because Dr. Joe over here. I'm still confused. I'm still confused on that one. We also wanted to play something else for you tonight. You guys might remember the Indianapolis Colts had a fight song the other night. A guy, of course, It's a Colts fan, right? But this Colts fan made a song last week, and they're playing the Arizona Cardinals this week, and what'd he do? He doubled down. He made a fight song for the Colts to take on Arizona this week. Let's hear this one, Skaz.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Cardinals. Let's stop them on their big red wings. This is our team. Go Colts! Yeah!
Gotta say, a little disappointed we didn't get the nay at the end, like we did the first one. Yeah, we got a real Colts nay the first time. But this is... People laugh at this, and yeah, obviously it's funny, but like I thoroughly enjoy like this level of fandom. Like this is the NFL. The hockey has these guys too, I think, but the NFL super fans, they're a special breed.
Dude, me and my friends used to make songs about Tom Brady all the time. We'd have a guitar and it'd be like dun, 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 Tom Brady. Dun, 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 dun. It's a Gronk. Dun, 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 dun. Like we do that stuff all the time.
Need some audio from that. Those to Murray's summer hits.
Brady, you're my quarterback and I love you.
I'm thinking of like something Brady to like the Flash Gordon theme.
Oh, God. By the way, do you think Verdugo's making excuses for sucking? Like, come on. It's your choice to wear the bat. Dude, don't wear batting gloves. That, you know, Skaz, that would be my... Like, I don't know. I'm a man. I have hands.
Jorge Posada, right? I'm trying to think of guys that didn't wear batting gloves.
Doug Mirabelli never wore batting gloves. Never. Now, I never played professional baseball, but I wore one on my glove hand all the time. So I feel like it's very common for guys. I think some guys wear one for their glove and one batting because you can kind of, both can get a little ruined. That's an excuse to me. I'm sorry. Dermatitis from gloves, huh? I do want to get to the birthdays in a minute here, but Andrew's been waiting on hold. Andrew, NWA, Public Enemy, what do you got?
Hey, well, I could listen to those Chromate analytics all night long. You're from Forest Hills, right, Joe?
Yeah, Hyde Park. Yep, right near Forest Hills.
I worked on a construction site in 1988, and I remember we were driving home one day, and every kid on the corner had a Swatch clock around their neck like Flavor Flav, okay?
Yeah.
NWA was a super group, okay? And Cube is the Bob Dylan of his generation, don't get me wrong, all right? But PE, man, that's the history of hip-hop right there. Chuck and Flavor, telling it like it is. And I'm not talking about Fear of a Black Planet. Go back to it. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. They changed music right there.
Well, here's the deal. Even though they were hip hop, I think that they were somewhat presented as like a new rock group, although they were rap. You know what I mean? Like
they were rap. They were drum machine,
dude,
man.
I get it, but I don't feel like they were presented that way. I feel like NWA was presented as like West Coast.
NWA was a super group. I mean, Eazy-E was already popular.
But at the time,
right? They already had tunes.
At the time, no. That's what I'm trying to tell you is Eazy-E was made by Dr. Dre. Eazy-E was just a guy who had money because he was a drug dealer. They were real gangsters, bro.
I know. They punched him in with the lyrics, but he did have a record, Boys in the Hood, before NWA.
No.
Listen, NWA is great. They're a super group, but I'm just saying PE is in the history books, man.
I get it. Chuck D and Flavor Flav are two of the biggest influential people of the 80s. No doubt about it.
You know it, right? And the hip-hop, right? The growth of hip-hop, right? You could almost say NWA doesn't even happen without Public Enemy. I know it's different coasts and things like that, but the message that Chuck was talking about was different than any other hip-hop band, right?
I'll agree with you on that. Thanks, Andrew. You know what? He's got a good point. It's still NWA. That was the question that was asked. And again, it's an opinion. No wrong answers. I don't know. Maybe we should have mentioned Flavor Flav. I mean, Snoop Dogg went to the Olympics, right? His connect.
Flavor Flav.
Both of them were there. You're right. If we're talking originals, OGs, Flavor Flav was there. But I don't think you could send Dr. Dre to the Olympics. And by the way, he has too much money. Why does he want to go anyways? Flavor Flav needs the money.
Maybe we can get another Flavor of Love, Joe.
We were just talking about the Bret Michaels one earlier.
The Rock of Love, Flavor of Love. I'd be down. I love New York.
I still wish they did that Medford. I was talking to Christine, our intern. They tried to do this like Lovers of Medford thing, like Somerville Medford people, and like that would have been like elite. All right, listen, we're from here, so we can talk about it. Other people can't. But if you were going to like really just want to know some characters,
Everett,
you're not going to Boston because it's all transplants.
Everett.
I feel like that whole area, Somerville, Medford, Everett, Malden, it's because they're not really North Shore, but they're close. But they're not Boston because it's not Boston, and they're definitely not South Shore. So it's like, and not even Charlestown for that matter. It's definitely Everett, Somerville, because Somerville's still transplant too. Medford, Malden, Everett is like just a different planet.
Because you just brought up Medford, we did have someone call in and tell us that Dave McGilvray, the guy that gave the Sox the marathon medal,
yep,
he ran from Medford, Oregon to Medford, Mass. as part of a fundraiser. Yeah, that was my reaction as well.
How many miles is that, like 300?
300?
No, I'm sorry, 3,000.
Yeah, but definitely close.
Okay, let's do it right now. What is it? What was it? Oregon? What is it? Medford, Oregon? Medford, Oregon. Sorry, I didn't mean 300. Medford, Oregon to Medford, Mass.
3,106 miles.
Yeah, 3,000 miles. I didn't mean to say 300. 3,000. Wow. Do you think he went like straight to like? But yeah, because if you think about it, right, you'd start there in Oregon. Do you just kind of cut through like Idaho, Wyoming, Nebraska, Iowa, Chicago?
I feel like there's no way you're going through Nevada. So
yeah. So it's kind of like that'd be interesting. I'm lost. I have all I have. You know what's funny? All my searches right now are Ice Cube, marijuana, basketball, chrome gloves, Public Enemy, and Medford to Medford. Medford to Medford. All right, birthdays today. Kathy Lee, 71. James Cameron, 70 years old today. Madonna, 66 years old. Angela Bassett, she was in the Flashing Lights video. 66 years old. Timothy Hutton, 64 years. Steve Carell, 62 years old today. Vanessa Carlton is 44. Kristen Milotti, 39 years old today. Rumor Willis, 36 years old. Some other birthdays today, unless you have some scaz, because I don't really.
How about one Ben Coates?
Ooh, I interviewed Ben Coates before as well.
Ben Coates, born on this day, 1969.
Won a championship with the 2000 Baltimore Ravens after breaking records with the Patriots. The other tight end on that team, also a potential Hall of Famer. They had two tight ends that I think should be Hall of Famers, Shannon Sharp as well.
I got Eddie Olchuk.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Taika Waititi.
Oh.
He directed Thor, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
Yu Darvish.
Oh.
And then we got some young athletes, Joe. Yannick Sinner, Italian tennis player. Will Zalatoris, golfer. A pretty strong start to the birthdays. Not so great on the more recent ones. Did you say Vanessa Carlton?
Yes. She did the... Wait, did she do that? If I could find you this guy. Or is that remember the White Chicks movie?
1,000 Miles. Yes, that is Vanessa Carlton. Terry Crews.
Mose Alou didn't wear batting gloves, but if you want to cross sports, Wayne Corbett, also from the Jets, didn't wear batting gloves. Mose Alou, if you want to look up the story, I don't think I can talk about this, but he used to do something to his hands to make them not wear batting gloves.
Cannot speak of the act, but yes.
I cannot speak of the act, but just imagine it. It makes sense.
Does it?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, exactly.
McGilvery is from Medford.
Medford to Medford.
Medford to Medford. All right. There's the Musings for tonight. That was a good one. What else could happen in the final hour of the show? Who knows?
Pizza bagels, bagel pizzas, Ice Cube, NWA, Public Enemy. You get it all.
Here's one for you. What's your favorite sweet candy? Because I've had an addiction of late. Gushers.
That's a classic right there.
I don't
Joe.
know what happened. I never I was too old to get them in like my snack pack.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big snack pack treat right there.
But like I remember seeing them on the shelves. I remember like
that was a big barter item at lunchtime. You could get a lot for a pack of Gushers.
We used to oh my god. So we had like fruit by the foot. That was a big boy, you know? And then you used to get that bubblegum, tape bubblegum. Like it came in that little like I don't know how many feet that thing was. But I'm not much of a sweets guy, but lately I have been chomping on Gushers like it's nobody's business lately. All right, we got to go to break. I'm Joe Murray. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I think this show has gone off the rails. And it's Friday night, so I don't care. Skaz is alone back there. So, we might as well just have fun until we go home. Just to update you on the Red Sox game, as much as this show has gone off the rails, the Red Sox game is 12-10 right now. Who took the over? This is what happens when you pitch an opener, by the way. Brendan Bernardino got 2 outs, faced 3 batters, and was pulled. Like, the Red Sox have pitching issues. It's 12-10. I don't know if they're going to be able to hang on. We'll keep our eyes on it. But they're going to have to outscore teams the rest of the way here. 12-10 right now. And there's plenty of Patriots stuff if you want to talk about it. So, there's a bunch of other stuff happening that people want to call about. So, 617-779-0985. You can also join us in the chat tonight. I see 57 people in there right now. People like the Ice Cube interview that we had earlier. Ice Cube called into the show. We talked about the Big 3 event that is this Sunday. Go check it out. We've been advertising it all weekend, but Ice Cube, friend of the show, called in again tonight. He shared some feelings on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I'm going to post that to 98.5 The Sports Hub in YouTube later on tonight. So if you guys want to check that out, you'll probably get it tomorrow because I'm not doing it tonight. So 617-779-0985. Let's start it off with Maul is in Roxbury. Hey, Maul.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Listen, Ice Cube's such a big entrepreneur. People forget that he's had 2 first ballot Hall of Fame albums in Death Certificate and, let's go America's Most Wanted first and Death.
America's and The Predator was outstanding. Lethal Injection was great too.
The Predator. But I'm talking about first ballot. I say those. I think Nas, Illmatic, and Nas. It was written. I think those are 2 first ballot. But when you get Death Certificate and America's Most Wanted, those are 2 first ballot. And the last thing I'm going to say is that there's a lot of debate out there about who is better, Notorious Big, a.k.a. Biggie Smalls, or Ice Cube. And I tell you, if you really go tail for the tape and just really break down everything, Ice Cube prevails.
Can I give you a reason? Okay, this is I think Christopher Wallace, for what he was one of the best, right? Like,
no doubt.
He never got a chance to do anything after what he did, right? So for what he did,
indeed, yeah, I give you that.
For what he did for work, Biggie was great. But if we are comparing the two, Ice Cube was more of a writer. He was a writer that could rap. He wrote songs for Eazy-E. Like, he wrote songs for other people.
Well, the greatest verse, NWA without Ice Cube. You remember that?
I do. No Vaseline is one of the best raps of all time.
There you go. My last thing is like this. If for real true hip-hop fans, go put in my Summer Vacation on Death Certificate. Listen to that about 7 times in a row, and you'll see.
I like Steady Mobbin'. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, fellas, take it easy.
Appreciate your call, man. A little hip-hop talk. All right, this one's funny. George is in Waltham. Hey, George.
Hey, here's an interesting question, and this went on last night on George Reister's show on Sat Radio, on Mad Dog Radio on Sat Radio. And his question was, if you were to, you always see the viral video of the guy fighting the kangaroo. You ever seen that one?
Yeah, I would get my ass kicked by a kangaroo.
So what animal, if you were to square up with an animal, do you think you could take?
Man. Man. It ain't a bear. I mean, a shark would love me. Animal, though, right?
Animal. If you were to square up with an animal, and it was mano y animal, who do you think you could take out?
Oh, man. I mean, it's
monkey?
No, they're too smart for me. Just like cats. Cats would ruin my life. They're too smart. I mean, a deer, no. You know what animal's been like really just I've been fascinated with? The Komodo dragon. That thing is a dinosaur, right? Isn't that thing like a real life dinosaur? It just eats things whole. Did we lose him? Have you ever looked up a Komodo dragon?
Yes, Joe, and they're venomous.
Okay, yes. Okay, there's this like Twitter handle that I always read. It's called Nature is Great or whatever. And they had Komodo dragons just eating foxes in one bite. And I'm like, they look like dinosaurs. Is that where they came from? And they say that they're like lizards, big lizards. No. The Komodo dragon scares the crap out of me. But what I don't know, man. I don't think I really have a shot anymore against an animal.
What about a coyote, Joe?
No.
You don't think so?
It's too fast.
As soon as you get a hold of it, though, I mean,
listen,
it wouldn't be clean. But
my move is grab them, put them in like the like a wrestling move, like the sleeper hold. But I'm really taking away their oxygen though, because it's the only way I could do it. Right? I got to put all my weight on them so they can't move, and wrap my arms around their throat. So could I get a coyote in that position? If I can, I win. That's the question.
We're gonna have a hell of a lot of drops after the show.
But like a cow? Cow's probably heavier than me, right? What about baby cow? But a kangaroo, dude, screw those guys. They're the worst.
Oh yeah, I've been in Australia. Had some encounters with kangaroos. Wouldn't go anywhere. You don't like. They're very docile. Like you can walk right up to them. At least where I was. But you do not want an angry kangaroo.
Listen, I went to Six Flags once and did the safari. I'm out. I don't want to deal with anything. I want nothing to do with another. I don't want to fight another animal.
Dr. Doolittle Murray, JP says in the chat.
I want nothing to do with an animal. Like when people are like, hey, let's go for a hike. I'm like, no.
One of the all-time bad remakes, too, was the Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doolittle movie.
Oh, God.
Terrible.
Absolutely awful. Brian is in Braintree. Hey, Brian.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Caramellos with the chocolate with caramel
Yeah,
inside.
you stretch it out. I remember the commercial from a kid.
They have some that are bite-sized, and I put them in the freezer because I take this medicine under your tongue. It's a film, and it tastes yucky. So after that, you pop a couple of those and push them around your mouth, and you're all better.
Yep. I remember the Caramello song. Such a sweet imagination. Little fingers to your mouth. Stretch it out, chocolate. Chocolate and caramel. Stretch it out. Caramello. Love a Caramello bar. Oh, a frozen Caramello. Let me tell you. Our good friend from the chat, his name is Einbein, is on the line. Hello, Einbein.
Joe Murray, how you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Shout out to the YouTube/Twitch fam. I'm thinking turkey would be a
no way
really tough one for you.
No way, dude. I've watched a turkey fight. So down the street from my house, there's a house that has turkeys. And these things are ruthless, dude. They'll chase you. I've watched someone hide in a car, and the turkeys still chased them in the car. Out on turkeys, out.
Yeah, I had a doctor's office where they were in the parking lot, and I had to run to the door to get away from it.
Yeah, dude. And the thing is that they really can't fly, but they can. You know what I mean? It's like but they got those legs and those the claws. You know what do they call those things?
Oh, they're bad, bro.
Talons.
They're bad, man.
I don't know what the hell those things are. Large talons. I feel like Napoleon done very large talons.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you're out in the woods in Connecticut, right? What do you see out there?
Oh yeah, we have bears, we have coyotes, we have fisher cats, we have turkeys, we have foxes, we have wildcats, we have all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm a city kid, so like the wild just doesn't work well with me.
Yeah, when I walk my dogs at night, it could be interesting.
Yeah, and I remember we had a caller one night that was in his car and there was a bear in his yard, and we had to walk him through it.
Yeah, well, I had one take down all my bird feeders. So.
Yeah. So who's your favorite Sopranos character?
Oh, Svetlana.
Svetlana.
The Russian lady with the fake leg,
with
man.
the fake
Come
leg.
on.
So obviously Einbein had a health issue and had to. You now have a prosthetic leg, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Left or right foot leg?
Left.
So left leg. Okay. What do you
Below
know?
knee. It took 14 surgeries to hack my leg off. That's how bad it was.
Have you ever seen Alex Smith surgeries?
Yes. Yeah.
Like you seen his leg recently? That's wild.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the whole story about that. It kind of made me really sick because, I mean, he went through more than I did, kind of, which is weird because I went through a lot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the fact that he's walking is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be in Worcester next week, man. I know you guys got something planned, right? All the guys?
Well, we kind of did, but I'm not sure it's going to happen.
We're trying. It's losing steam before the holiday, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Everybody, it's like, yeah. And then the holiday comes and everyone's like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know how that works.
Well, I will be in Worcester
hey, look,
next
man,
week.
I love the show, Joe. You're great.
Dude, I appreciate you hanging out every night with it. What do you like better, mornings or nights?
Nights, for sure.
I was being cheeky, but I appreciate it. Thank you, bud. We'll talk soon.
Later, bro.
Take care. I was being cheeky there. I wasn't throwing shots. All right, come on. I love the morning, guys. I'm in the chat there, too. Okay, we're all cool. Todd's in Peabody. Hello, Todd.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. I got an animal that you can get you can handle.
Okay.
What you want to do is you want to face off against a sloth.
A slothy?
Yeah.
You think
I'm telling you, my money's on you all day long.
Where would I find a sloth?
I don't know. You want me to find everything?
No, but like, where would I? You're in Peabody. Where the hell are there sloths in Peabody?
Okay. Let me work on that. I don't know of any sloths in Peabody, but I'm telling you right now, if I find a sloth, you got it.
You got to trap it and then bring it to me, and we'll bet on it, right?
You got it. Absolutely.
Where in Peabody are you?
I'm right down the street. I'm Omega Pizza. I'm right in that neighborhood.
Yeah, oh, do you know? Do I know you?
You don't, but if I ever see you, I'm going to introduce myself.
All right. Well, I'd like to. So where's Omega? Is that like West Peabody, like another side of Peabody?
South Peabody, near 7-Eleven.
Oh, like the what's the name of the liquor store everybody loves? Bunghole.
No, that's downtown, but I'm further north.
Okay.
Near Linfield Street, that area.
I'm on the Capone side.
You're right up the street. I'm on the other end of County Street.
Ah, okay. Peabody, Mass. It's a
I'll
lovely
keep my
town.
eyes open for you, and I will be looking for a sloth.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Have you ever seen a sloth, Skaz?
Maybe at the zoo, but no, not Central and South America is where you will find sloths.
Yeah. Well, what's more crazier, the Red Sox game or the show?
Always the show.
Always. All right, let's take a final break of the night. I'm Joe Murray here in the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
The Red Sox lead 12-10 right now, bottom of the ninth inning. No outs right now. Kenley Jansen on the mound looking to close things out as the Sox. All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. Final segment of the night. Thank you for everybody hanging out with us. The late night action's been fun of late. We were just talking about it off the air. Don't mean for the show to go off the rails. It's just after 9 o'clock. I just feel like that's where it goes. I don't know if it's the Musings or do we get cubed today? But a lot of fun. So appreciate you all calling. Everyone in the chat as well. Einbein says, the chat and show are better. Don't tell Fred. Love you, Fred. I know. I love those guys. Trust me. I know where I came from. How about that? Just to recap the night, started the show tonight with a spark, right? Morale was low, and then Drake May came out and gave hope. Gerard Mayo still sees a competition between Brissett and Drake May. I think that's Mayo sending a message to Brissett. Still think he's going to be the quarterback week 1. I wanted to also mention that Mayo had an interesting night. It was back-to-back games where they had a 2-minute drill chance, and he didn't go for it. But he had a chance with Drake May this week. I wonder if that was a Mayo thing or a Van Pelt thing. I don't know, but let's keep our eye on it. But he did have an interesting challenge on a 4th down, if you remember, and he won. Still hard to evaluate it, and I think we've talked about that. How do we evaluate the team? And next week, we'll talk a lot about how they should approach preseason game number 3. I'll tease this real quick. I think Drake May should start. The reason why I think he should start is if he's going to get into a game this year or start a game this year, I think that they should tell him he's going to start so he has the preparation ready to go, goes through the workouts. It's on the road too, right? But if he has the night before, the playbook, him getting ready, the warm-ups, the national television, even if it's just one series, I think that would go a long way in his progression. I'd start him. I wouldn't play Brissett. That would kind of set the tone that he's the guy. Unless they want to play Brissett after May. I don't know. I think Brissett's fine. But I would play Drake May just to give him the feeling. And we can get into that next week as well. Also should mention the Red Sox just won a barn burner. 12-10. They won tonight, and congratulations to them. They won without a starting pitcher. They had 4, 5, 6, 8 pitchers tonight. It's not sustainable. I give them credit. They're 64-57. They beat the first place team. This pitching staff is not sustainable, and their 2 acquisitions that they got, well, 3 really. One of them's done. Sims pitched well tonight. He struggled the other night. Garcia, though, woof. I wonder if he needs a break. 37-year-old guy, I wonder if he needs a break. Jansen, though, slammed the door, 2 strikeouts for the save. So there's your update on the sports. We got our buddy Quincy in Curacao. Quincy, what kind of animal you got in Curacao?
Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
How you doing, bud?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you if you ever fought against a goose.
You know what, though? They're all over the place here, man. Geese. I've never fought a geese, but you know what we have here that are real bad? Seagulls. You know those birds that are at the beach that always eat your food? I've had some run-ins with those.
We don't have those here, but I see them on film.
Yeah, so you guys don't have seagulls, huh?
No.
Why is that? Is it because it's too warm?
No, we have different kind of species at the beach.
Oh, it's so you have a different beach bird.
Yeah.
But a goose, man, I don't know. I feel like they'd peck at me, you know? And I don't want to grab them by their neck.
You know what's happening? I had to go to a pet shop last week because people are breaking into homes and everything, and people kind of recommended me to get a goose, you know. And when I get there, I start asking the gentleman about how to taking care of them or anything, and then one of them, there was a Chinese one, start attacking me, you know. And then the gentleman go inside with me and start showing me what's inside their mouth. And you can Google it up, Joe. It's not a joke. They have more teeth in their mouth than actual dog.
Whoa.
Man.
I have to. How did you discover the show? I have to ask.
On YouTube. On YouTube.
You just saw our live show? So you just...
No, because it was actually because of the soccer, I was a Columbus Crew fan before.
Oh, okay.
And then the head coach moved to New England, and then I have to come to the Sports Hub on YouTube in order to find the interviews and to get more accurate sports, like news from the Disney, that particular state,
That's great. And then you ran into this show, and now you like it.
Yeah. It's the only show I watch.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
That nice little feather and a nice little goose feather in our cap.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, before you hang up,
yes.
There's a conspiracy theory lately on the internet that say that cats are cute little creatures made by aliens in order to spy on us people. What do you think about that?
In or out on that? I am in, bro. And Quincy, appreciate you. Thank you. We're up against it. Cats are here from Alien. I don't trust cats. I've never trusted a cat. You know that.
Quincy, unbelievable call. Bringing the heat with the attack goose and our cat's alien conspiracy theory. I'm in.
We need to bookmark that. We need to talk about this one next week.
I'm going to have to look up those articles.
No, but cats are here because they're alien spying on us. I completely believe that. They're too smart. Everyone says, oh, cats. Oh, yeah. They're too smart. They're too smart. Cats mess with me all the time.
It's almost like you could say cats ruffle your feathers, Joe.
That's right. All right, we got to go. That's it. I'm done. Done for the week, everybody. Thank you for everyone joining the show.
Very informative Joe show tonight, all over the map.
Yep. Thank you to James Scaramazino doing it all. Thank you to our good friend Ice Cube. Big 3. The championship's in Boston this Sunday. Be sure to check it out. And I will be on this Sunday from 10 to 2 with Cerrone Battle. If you want to join me then, I'm going home. I am out. Talk to you guys Sunday and then back here Monday at 7 o'clock here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.